Neptune and Goon, sayless moments. You know what I'm saying? Talking about cowboy. You know, scared to catch a fade with cowboy and all this. You know what I'm saying?
Than that,
We would've
he was
picked
like,
up
I wouldn't have been yelling to break it up
was getting
the
break
way
up
it did
about
because my daughter was still on the trailer. So that
they got picked up by the feds, Luce and Brick, but Big U turned himself in. You know what I'm saying?
that's that.
He had a heads up.
What's the deal? What's the deal? And I'm out here, that's why Loose Cannon trying to say he didn't catch his fade, he ran, this and that. First off, nigga, it's only gonna get worse and it's only gonna drag on. And you don't know who in the parking lot and what civilians seen what they saw. Second, his daughter is still in the car, elevated on the back of Cowboy's truck. So hell yeah, I would have been yelling at that nigga like, nah.
That's his house getting raided, you know what I'm saying? They had his house getting raided. People saying it. And then they were trying to say Big U was with the feds when he was turning himself in. Big U was like, man,
I'm over here dying laughing. This nigga Big U said I was with the feds when they raided his house. This nigga's hilarious, but that's what he do though. When he get mad, he get pressured, he start throwing jackets on niggas. He this what he do. He either say you're a crackhead, you're a fag, or you're a rat. That's what he do. That's his go-to. You feel what I'm saying? Nigga, how am I with the feds, bro, when I came to the house, bro? They hit you like at 4 in the morning, bro. I got the car at 7. I stopped what I was doing because I don't want to speak until I got the content, nigga. I shot over there, nigga. You was already gone. Your whole window was all busted open when I put up over there, nigga. But this is what this dude do, bro. Then when he on his way to turn himself in, you know what he said? He said the feds need to arrest Whack 100, 600, bro. That nigga telling them niggas come get us, bro. Nigga, I ain't broke a law in 10 years, nigga. I ain't listing y'all indictment, bro. Why you put my name in that shit, bro, nigga? I'm over here dying laughing. This nigga Big U said I was with the feds when they.
Y'all ain't fighting, hell no. His daughter was still on the back of the truck. So, you know, that's the whole thing with that. So that's why I said it seemed like he ain't lying because it lined up. Because I'd be like, why would this nigga want to break up the fight? And like he said, I would have let him. You know what I mean? He's like, shit, we black, like handle your business. But other than that, he was like, I wouldn't have been yelling to break it up the way it did because my daughter was still on the trailer. So that's that. What's the deal?
So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, sick. So I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone. So after I talked to Nipsey and I was like, yeah, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that. I'll see you later or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey.
You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got killed.
Yeah.
You panic, call Nip. Nip answered the phone.
Yeah.
And 30 minutes after you get off the phone with Nip, he get killed.
Yeah, I got it.
So you think he hit you a little too early?
Yep, he hit me a little bit too early because the homie Shitty double back 3 times. You get what I'm saying? And first he shot him, boom, go into the alley, came back. So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, sick. So I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone. So after I talked to Nipsey and I was like, yeah, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that. I'll see you later or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey.
You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got.
With exclusive games you won't find anywhere else, FanDuel Casino has your shot at the #1 feeling, which is still winning. Better than number 85.
Force on violent gangs launched an investigation into Henley criminal enterprise and its association with the Rolling 60 Seconds neighborhood Crip Street gang, which the Lamford began investigating in August 2020. The Big U Enterprise is a mafia-like organization that utilizes Henley's stature and long-standing association with the Rolling 60 Seconds and other street gangs to intimidate business.
Hello.
Hi, Sharice. How you doing?
Hey, I'm all right. Could be a little better, but amongst the circumstances, I'm okay.
Nah, for sure. So,
Gang. Let's go.
what's the update? What's going on?
You are now in the black. But you know that he is good. Y'all can go ahead and pray on his downfall all you want. Best believe this comeback is gonna be real. IBM in the building.
Oof, tell him. Yeah, I'm gonna save your number. So yeah, just hit me when he taps in. And for sure, yeah, we gotta hold him and Bricc down. I feel like both of them are being falsely accused and just being wrapped up in a bunch of bullshit. I feel like they're probably throwing Bricc and Luce in the blender just because they're trying to get at Big U and find anybody who might have something to say about Big U.
Absolutely. And best believe it's all lies. And we can say on the record, it's all lies. And now y'all want to call my husband a liar, call him.
And he gonna act like Bricc Baby didn't sit on no jumper and say in front of the world on these same cameras that he got 700,000 out the streets last year. If you don't knock it off.
Liar now. This is the time when y'all can say he's a liar because it's all lies. How about you spin that? Okay? Spin that and actually go with that instead of saying, oh, it's so good that he's gone. How could y'all cry on another man for being locked up when he got a family? How dare y'all? Put yourself.
He abandoned his real family. No sympathy for a deadbeat Rolling Stone who don't check on what he got left at home. Shut up. You sound stupid as fuck, bitch.
In his shoes. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, people on a podcast and said it's got
a 3% IRA match with Robinhood Gold. The reckoning has commenced.
So achieving this level of flavor, is it difficult? Oh, you know. It's just one fruit in front of the other. Sparkling ice, anything but subtle.
They say that explodes me in the boy.
the sky is blue from my perspective. From someone else's perspective, it could be black and white. Who knows? But at the end of the day,
he didn't. He kind of did. Kind of did.
Nah.
Okay?
Facts.
So make sure y'all tune in.
Right,
make sure y'all
man.
look on my YouTube. Luxury Smells. I'm gonna definitely keep y'all in the loop of things. Adam, you're gonna always get the exclusive. I'm gonna make sure anytime my husband calls, if he got something to say, you'll get it first.
No, I appreciate that. I feel bad because he got a little too high last night from the contact weed from me and Bricc. So he
I was looking at it, I was like, does my husband look stuck? He looks stuck sometimes. I was like, where is he looking at? The corner?
Bruh, he was big stuck by the end of it. I couldn't believe it. I felt horrible.
He's not. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink. He doesn't do any of that stuff. He's one person. So the smallest
He better not smoke nor drink as slow-tarded as he already is. He would be extremely slow-tarded if he smoked or drink. He better not touch nan substance with his slow-tarded ass. You a slow-tard too, bitch.
Damn.
Of a drink, he'll get super tipsy. Same thing goes with weed. Like he doesn't even do any of that,
Big U just made a really big mistake in his last video to the public before he turned himself in to face the federal indictment. Big U starts off the video pleading to the public to believe he's innocent. He believes that this is a witch hunt because he's doing things for black people.
This is my last video before I turn myself in. I'm with my family. Talk to my sons. I talk to everybody, man. I'm just saying, people are supposed to help me. I hope you help me. You can't, you don't worry about it. A lot of stuff y'all hearing is straight trash. And I appreciate the love and I appreciate people who may help me. I don't know. It's hard helping black people and not being hunted for doing it.
First Street, it might be to, I don't know if it's to the right or the left.
Reach out to anybody who can help me, y'all.
You hear me?
Help my family. Appreciate y'all. Go.
I'm not saying the narrative that Big U is being hunted is false, because he quite possibly could, right? He quite possibly could have pissed off somebody, but I don't think Big U is being hunted for helping black folks. I feel like that's not even a possibility, because there's a lot of people who help black folks. There's a lot of people with nonprofits and programs for black folks who does a lot for black folks, and they're not in federal RICO indictments, right? Right? Like, they're not being accused of murder. They're not being accused of extortion. There's not multiple victims coming out and saying that I had to pay this person $25,000 a month to operate my business. They're not being accused of robbery. So I don't feel like, even if he is being hunted, that's something that he'll probably reveal, but it wouldn't be for helping black folks. Like, no, this is not a black people problem.
Most of the target. Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of the target came not from the kids. And
I'm looking at this video as I
them hollows and them M's, and you know what I'm saying, M1s, man, like, and them robberies and all that.
Man, I turn myself in, and I'm disheartened by the fact that they're trying to say that I stole something from Developing Option, or I used Developing Option as a front. Developing Option paid my bills. They paid my house note. They paid the bills for my family, the money I made as an employee for Developing Option. I never mixed that with nothing. I didn't manipulate nobody. I didn't steal nothing. We did PPP loans. We did 2 loans. And that's it, just like everybody else did. I didn't use no fraud. I didn't give none of fake names. And one of them we was paying back, and one they forgave. You know what I mean? And the other one we attempted for, and they didn't give us nothing for it. I filed my taxes, and them coming around telling me I was using Developing Option as a cover. Cover for what? None of that's going to be true. None of that's going to be true. The government putting this big-ass picture, and they want to arrest 21 dudes. Some dudes I don't even talk to. I don't even know nothing about. So how the hell you going to lump me in with all them? But it's all a big picture, though. It's all a big picture. Now I'm going to be sitting in here. It's going to be years out of my life. Then you going to get dudes who I don't even talk to. What they going to say? You ruining people's lives. I heard it's over 21 people that's been arrested. This shit wrong. I'm looking at all these charges on the news. I'm headed back to LA. And then I'm looking at the people they arrested. How you gonna go arrest people that I don't even talk to? That's a built-in liar right there. You know what I mean? So is that how they gonna work the case? Everybody know I don't f*** with Canada. Everybody know I'm bricc, baby. So if you want to arrest certain dudes, and put them next to me, them is the dudes you gonna have to call. You know what I mean? So is that how they gonna work the case? Everybody know I don't f*** with Canada. Everybody know I'm bricc, baby. So if you want to arrest certain dudes, and put them next to me, them is the dudes you gonna have to call themselves turning against me. Well, ain't no turning against me.
That's a mistake to me. This isn't individual cases y'all are fighting individually. This is a RICO, a racketeering. This is a situation where if you get found guilty for something, you get found guilty for the same thing. Y'all are all into it together. So when you know this and you're going into this knowing that y'all have to have each other back, y'all have to have an agreement, y'all have to have a code of silence, y'all all have to be on the same page. If I take a plea deal, you take the same plea deal, bro. Let's get out of here. But when you're going in and turning yourself in and you're pushing division, and you say, bro, I don't mess with this dude and this dude, and you're already putting it out there that you think the feds is bringing Bricc Baby and Loose Cannon so they can lie on you. You're already putting it out there that you believe they're going to cooperate against you. Yo, one, I don't think Bricc Baby and Loose Cannon is going to cooperate, but if you are putting that out there, what's stopping them from saying, bro, like, I know we had our issues, but I thought in this moment we would at least be solidified. But if he's saying he don't mess with me at this point, bro, every man for themselves, homie, I got to do what I got to do to come home. Loose Cannon and Bricc Baby is thoroughbred. They're loyal. So they probably won't do that. But you start saying that for the average person, bro, show. It's not going to look good for you, bro. The average person would take that stand and tell them folks what they want to hear after they hear this.
Him to start rolling. They say he enrolled 30 years ago. He told on Eddie Boy. He told SKG. SKG was in a news article. You know what I'm saying? I played that last night. She was in a news article. Y'all been following my lives, but yeah. Man.
Big U would also go after Whack 100 and 600.
I ain't going for that. You might well go get 600 and Whack. These dudes been saying I did shit all year. So what they doing is they go on the internet and these dudes say that I did something on the internet. And when you say I did on the internet, they go investigate it. Now, you raid my houses, raid my shops, raiding all this stuff. And talking about I'm committing crimes and covering up with developing option. What crimes am I committing to cover up with developing option? You know what I'm saying? I ain't committed no crimes. They cover nothing up with developing option. Shit crazy. But this how they get you. They get one or two people to say something. Ain't gonna be no real evidence. They can do any one of us. It ain't nobody safe with these dudes. If these dudes feel they want you, how they going around talking about somebody's gonna raid my house before my house get raided? How they there with the police? And y'all sitting there following them. Everybody that's a part of them shows, and 100 shows, all them shows, and y'all need to, everybody who following them, promoting them, anything.
I got it.
Y'all wrong. Y'all ain't black.
Y'all with the feds.
This tourney season, send and spend like a champ on Venmo. Split the E.
Say 100 side, man. Y'all with the feds. Y'all trying to say it's grid and all that with the feds. Y'all alerting the feds. I don't know, man. What's going on?
600 is smart either, man.
Say y'all ain't. I ain't gonna say y'all is. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. Tell you the truth, but I ain't say it ain't so.
My perspective, again, this is my humble perspective because I got love and respect for Big U. But if you are making this video because you care about the public backlash, you care about how the public is perceiving you. So you're making this video to please your case to the people, not to judge you based on the details coming out right now. Because when people hear your son's best friend got murdered by you, allegedly, that's what the feds are saying. When people hear that, they automatically paint a picture of you. So he's making this video to sort of stop that and change the narrative. But you're not going to change the narrative by going after Whack 100 and 600. Because while you're in jail, these are two dudes who are going to be on every podcast, who's going to be on Instagram, who's going to be on Twitter, who's going to be viral, who's going to be getting posted talking about you. And if you're making them even matter or giving them, more incentives to go as hard as they can on you, Brett, and put your name in the dirt, that's not really wise. Now, when he says, they were with the police, he's referring to when 600 drove by his house while his house was being raided. But 600 was not with the police. He was just driving by like anybody else could drive by.
Hey, man. Hey, free Big U, man. You know it's crazy? I be sliding through the hood like I'm sliding through the hood, right? Just doing my, I always be doing my homework on certain things, right? And
Locka, where you at, Paul?
I slide by the boy house. They got them all. They got it all taped off, man. Somebody pray for Big U. Yeah, free Big U, man. They got all his cars taped off. His his whole front window was bashed in. I ride by. Yeah. I'm like, hold on, cuz. Like, what? Hey, man. It was a break-in. What happened? Operation?
I especially think beefing with Whack 100 in this particular time is a mistake because at some point, Big U is going to need a favor from Whack 100. Big U is going to need Whack 100 to either speak up and say, nah, bro, like he ain't never threatened my life, bro. Like that's cap. Because in the paperwork, they are accusing Big U of making an attempt on Whack 100's life because they caught Big U on wiretap telling people that he had Whack 100 begging for his life.
Yo, Whack, what's up with the screenshot that Traplo Ross sent me? Are you begging Big U not to kill you?
That's cap. That's AI.
It's in the indictment. It's in the indictment that you were saying, don't do this. My wife, my kids in the car. Draws. Don't do this.
That's not a text message.
No, it was a real life conversation. Henley recounted to Victim One an incident in which Henley and the Rolling 60s gang members chased down Whack 100, attempting to hurt him. There's 15 to 20 N-words with us with hoodies tied down. I got my hoodie on, all black, tied down.
You Big U told the police this?
I believe they have like a recording of him doing this.
Yeah, that's on him, bro. That ain't me.
Why would somebody wear a wire and do that, though?
Ask him, nigga. Don't ask me. Shit. It says, who said that?
I mean, it says that this is from 2022 in June or early month before May.
That's him saying that shit, right?
It says though. It was like okay.
Talk to me about what they say I see.
Okay, it was Big U telling somebody else, victim one, that they basically ran down on you and made you beg for.
Okay, so what you got to do, Adam? You got to ask that dummy why he did that.
Probably not going to be able to ask him anytime soon.
Said what he said. Get your facts right, Adam.
No, I'm just reading this. The Trapper Ross sent me the screenshot, and I'm like, oh shit,
listen, you gotta ask that. You gotta ask that dummy. And I'm glad he said it like that. You right. I was scared for my life. I didn't do nothing.
The incident that they're referring to is the Novo incident. Now, how the Novo incident works, there's multiple stories. Wack has his view of it. Somebody else have their view of it. Big U has his own view of it. But there's multiple versions of the Novo story. But how the story goes from Big U's and others' perspective is Wack was on stage. They swung at Wack. Wack jumped off stage, like got out the building and went to his car. Big U was saying that when Wack 100 got to his car, that he was there. And Wack 100 was pleading for his life. But again, that's according to Big U. But here is, I guess, commentary on what took place at the Novo incident, like minutes after it happened that night.
Wack 100 got we not put on him. That nigga talk this shit about this his town.
I'm just saying, you talk about every set.
Hold on.
Every guy.
Hold on, y'all hear they verse.
Nigga talks about every gang, every set. Nigga got there, got shocked out, ran to the front, and jumped off game stage. Nigga slid out that motherfucker. That nigga's officially a buster.
What's your version of it?
My version is, man, Tiny Draws put them mother bombs on that nigga.
Hold on, we ain't doing no names now. We ain't doing no names.
He put them bombs, he got his motherfucking head knuckled up. Hey.
Y'all hear that?
Hey, listen, he gonna remember the Novo, nigga. If you don't remember nothing else in his life.
From my perspective, imagine how helpful Wack 100 could be, right? Like, if the feds are saying, oh, you made an attempt on Wack 100, like, your Wack 100 could really help your case by saying, nah, we good, bro. Bro, me and Big U, bro, that's just entertainment. Like, we good. So, and that would really help your case. But I feel like the ego is getting in the way. You're going at people, going in, and the same people who essentially have your life in their hands. Because if they really wanted to get filed, they could get filed, bro. Right? Now, I know Wack 100 enough to where I know Wack 100 would never, in my perspective, Wack would never take the stand or testify. But if you dealing with somebody spiteful enough, they could take that stand against you, bro, and make it bad. You don't want to create enemies going in.
And y'all showing for our people. They can put charges against anybody.
This Mark embrace the chaos with Fanatic Sportsbook.
We got Poetic Flocko, Poe Flocko, man. He described him as Big U, Wack 100 getting to tiny draws, and then Big U.
This is my last video. We're going on. They talking about I'm a fugitive, so they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. He's actually got video and footage of it, so y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, it was asking about Wack, loose cannon, 600, and this internet stuff. All of y'all filed. All y'all who be sending shit around the internet, all y'all who be promoting and listening to what these niggas saying, all y'all giving these likes and hidden likes, all y'all supporting this. All y'all guilty of this shit. If you had something against a black man, you should handle it with a black man in the streets. Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He worked with the FBI. The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all the different celebrities and told all the different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me. They going around scaring and intimidating everybody. But y'all sending it around, getting people in trouble. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community.
I've met Big U 3 times in my life, and he's always been really, really kind to me. So I have nothing bad to say about Big U. Right? I got love for Big U.
I bet you have, Flocko, big pump.
This is just eerily similar to the Suge Knight situation. This reminds me of the Suge Knight situation, man, where
night type shit.
You got the world, bro.
Night type crimes.
You got the money, you got the life, you got the respect, you got the admiration. But being a bully,
back is crazy.
Strong arming,
using
pushing your weight around gets in the way. And eventually,
It's brilliant.
People
It's
go from
smart.
being scared of you to
It's kind of stupid, but it's smart.
just hating you. And
You know what I'm saying?
when their hate outweigh their
robbing the same nigga, he giving the money back, and he put, you know what I'm saying? Like he got fear of, you know what I'm saying? It is some mafia style. It's mafia style.
fear of you.
Allegations, you know what I'm saying? In the indictment, they taking the money, boom, get the money back to dude, and boom, tell me where some more people we can rob at. Tell me where some more dispensaries at. They robbing dispensaries, all the dispensaries and shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go read, you know what I'm saying?
That's when you get things like victim one going to the FBI or going to the feds and cooperating against you to try to take you down, right? It feels like people that were doing business with Big U, those people are coming out and testifying against them.
And then it's like 10, 20,000, 40,000, something, 40,000, something he took some victim one. They put Loose Cannon in, you feel me? They put Brick Baby in some type of call or talking about something, you know what I'm saying, conspiring or something. But they say Williams, he did do the robbery, or they alleging he did one of the robberies, but they saying that's not the case. He got framed for it. They just put his name in, as they say.
At least from what we've seen, wearing
they saying he admitted to it on No Jumper. I'm saying Adam and Wack, when he was talking about the serial, when he talking about giving the money back, they say that's what he admitted to.
They're wearing wires, they're bringing cameras to record it. So it feels like the business that was being done was under a stronghold. The people that were doing business were being bullied and extorted. And because of that, it feels like a Suge Knight situation all again, where because you're powerful, people have to tolerate you. But once the power start waning, in this case, once it became evidently clear the feds were investigating, Big U couldn't do certain things like he used to. So then the people who he used to have a grip on, those people began to get more lax. They began to talk some more to the feds. They began to testify. They began to give statements. They began to go against them, opposed to if you were doing business from the very beginning, from my perspective.
Wack was on the phone. He said 4 other people testified on him. You know, I'm gonna play a little bit from that too.
Love,
You know I'm saying?
under the expectation of love.
They done went to my house, kicked my houses in, bust my door down, bust my window. They calling my son at his football practice, threatening him. You know what I mean? These dudes tagging him. What kind of shit is this? But y'all gonna be rolling with these dudes. And I got this last thing to say. Wax said he was gonna destroy developing option, right? So who gonna replace developing option? Which one of you niggas in the 60s gonna call you?
That is a big, man. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. They pay for them kids, you know what I'm saying? In high school, is all them football players, you know what I'm saying?
Stuff coming in.
Because whoever, people, you know what I'm saying, that's trying to get their kids and do right. You know what I'm saying? They saying we gotta lead better.
Try to come in. Example. Y'all the ones that's working with Wack. Believe that. So remove me to get me out the way for somebody else to come in who gonna cooperate. That's what the play is. That's what the whole play is. I'm out. I'm gonna send y'all videos to put up.
Contract with Big U. Then I feel like
you go to other, because Floyd Flacco, man, he ain't describing none of that playboy.
Hey guys, let me tell you a little internet.
Eat that paper, man. Eat for some. Oh yeah, this the part I wanted to play right here. He talking about the good stuff in the paperwork.
Other separate civil indictment that we know nothing about until Brick Baby goes to court and the indictment gets for a long time. It's been a countdown, to be honest. Dave knew that the RICO was coming for some time now. The feds have raided Brick Baby and Loose Cannon's crib. They've had several interactions with the feds. So the feds have been messing with them for a very long time, and they would even admit to such.
Look, outside of that, the feds picked you up 2 times, right? You said the feds have picked you up on numerous occasions, right?
What part? What time? Yeah. Okay, so look.
So
we're going to elaborate and we're going to respond to that. No. Because at the end of the day, it's like this, right? Because when the same time they came and picked your ass up, right? They came and got Big Useless, right? And then, they rolled on me.
Yeah.
So you already know the answer.
I don't know that they wrote on you. I'm telling you. I'm saying
we dealing with this
two separate times.
Okay,
I hear you.
Okay,
I hear
wait,
you.
hold on.
You're talking.
No,
you,
look
to them.
Okay, so listen.
You can't just say you know.
Okay, no. So
Loose Cannon and Brick Baby revealed last night that Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, and Big U all had a run-in with the feds right around the exact same time. Now, Brick Baby house was raided and an AK-47 was found. And Brick Baby picked up a federal gun case at the time. Now, Brick will say that the feds and the state police raided his home. However, the feds didn't really charge him. It's the state police who charged him, but it was a DA reject. But after they raided his crib, Brick Baby will confide in his homie at the time called Christopher Lovejoy, aka 600. And he would tell 600 that he was notified that Big U was being investigated for a federal RICO. And he would tell 600 that the federal RICO was stemming from a hot one out of town. And by hot one, he means a murder that took place out of town.
600, that go back to you. He told you, the feds talked to him and told you what?
You understand? I'm with Brick at this time. I was his savior to bring it back to the hood. He's telling me everything that's going on, so I know what's going on with the case and everything other. So he's telling me, man, the feds be on all your videos, bro. They like, man, Lovejoy gives us a tour of the hood every day.
He telling me.
They watch all your videos. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, huh? Why do I watch my videos? Like, whatever. But he's like, yeah, bro. They found the chop. I'm like, okay. So I didn't really think nothing of it because, like I told you, my whole stance with him at that point was he never told before this. So I just assumed that he was in some hot grease and he had whatever he had coming from the legal system. So I never really followed up on till time started going by. Like, nigga, what's up with that case? They start going around it. You know
No, 600. Your first red flag was when he started telling you the feds was telling him about Big U.
Oh,
feds don't
so
just go to telling you unless you.
So that's what he told me. He like, bro, Big U on fire, bro. It's ugly for Cuz. They want Cuz in jail. They got a RICO on him. I'm like, yeah. He like, no, but you ain't got nothing to worry about. It's a Big U RICO, not a 6-0 RICO. Everybody who he be dealing with, they tied Cuz to a house, went out the way. I'm like, oh. He said, yeah, it's ugly. I'm like, damn.
That's the thing the family called.
Flacco, you see what we be saying?
Whoa, who's that Flacco guy? I don't know who he is, bro. That's, no, not this guy, bro. Not Flacco. Hey, bro. I don't know nothing. The hot one out of town, aka the murder out of town that they're referring to, is the 2021 murder of Rayshawn Williams. Rayshawn Williams is the best friend of Big U's son. Rayshawn Williams lives with Big U at some point. Now, Rayshawn Williams was found dead in a ditch with multiple bullet wounds in Vegas in 2021. Late last week, Christopher Lovejoy, aka 600, would actually take to social media to reveal that the family of Rayshawn Williams told him that the police located Big U's DNA under Rayshawn Williams' fingernails.
Man, we got some pretty disturbing news, man. And y'all remember a couple days ago when I mentioned that case where the kid, the football player, you know, Big U's son's best friend played on the football team who was living with Big U was killed. And it was saying that Big U didn't show up to the funeral, never contacted the mother for any type of support, anything. Just blocked her and everything, right? It was just like, damn, bro, like you always say if you know anything about these gang murders to give you the information. But when the football player is the best friend of your son who was living with you turns up dead, you don't want nothing to do with nothing, right? So the news came out today, this morning. The mother said that Big U has been denying to give his DNA. So they had to send a warrant to get Big U's DNA. You want to take a wild guess whose DNA came back on his son? Big U, Eugene Henley's DNA came back on her son's fingernails.
Wack 100 will follow this up by posting a call between himself and the family of Rayshawn Williams, where they are alerting Wack 100 that the police plan on arresting Big U in late March, early April.
You gotta go pay the conspiracy. So, yeah, they tested my brother's nails. Okay, so, that's bad work. So that means my brother.
Now that's what y'all been hearing. This one ain't nobody heard. Let me find this shit.
April. They still ain't arrested you, nigga? Well, they told me between me and you, please, between me and you, don't tell nobody because they don't want nobody to know. They're going to be making an arrest the end of March, the beginning of April.
She told Wack don't tell nobody, but Wack told the entire internet. Now, Wack's explanation for this is he had to tell the internet because if he didn't, people will look at him a certain way. But right on cue, everything that's been discussed on the internet over the last year and a half surrounding Big U, Brig Baby, Rayshawn Williams, and everything in loose cannon, it all came in fruition, even down to the exact arrest date. Right on cue, the feds announced the federal indictment of Big U and 18 other Rolling 60 associates this morning.
Good morning. I'm Joe McNally, the acting United States Attorney here in Los Angeles. Today, we're here to announce federal criminal charges against Eugene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U, who used his contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, and a youth charity to further his own criminal enterprise, an enterprise that engaged in murder, extortion, robbery, human trafficking, COVID fraud, and other felonies. Mr. Henley and several other individuals linked to him and his criminal enterprise were charged in a criminal complaint with federal racketeering conspiracy. Mr. Henley is a fugitive, and he is currently wanted by federal law enforcement.
We will learn several things during this press conference. We will learn that the feds have been looking at the podcast in LA. They've been looking at several LA podcasts, recording, taking down everything. So if you've been speaking on an LA podcast as of lately, bro, over the last 4 years, you are in severe trouble. You in trouble. Now, the feds would also alert that this entire investigation, this entire RICO investigation into Big U and his associates and his business dealings all started with the murder of Rayshawn Williams. When they began to investigate the murder of Rayshawn Williams in 2021, that's when the investigation of Big U and the Rolling 60 started. Now, the feds will officially say that Big U is responsible for the death of Rayshawn Williams, in their opinion.
As I said, Mr. Henley is a widely known leader within the Rolling 60s. He rose to prominence in that gang decades ago, and he has since been a fixture on the internet, talk shows, and podcasts, all things that law enforcement have looked at closely as part of this investigation. He has maintained the image of an entertainment industry entrepreneur running a music label and of somebody who gives back to the community here in Los Angeles, funding a South LA-based charity, developing options, which purports to help at youth risk escape gang life and escape the perils of gangs in high crime areas. The facts alleged in the complaint paint a very different picture. It is one of a murderer, a thief, a liar, and a cheat, and the criminals that enabled him. For example, Mr. Henley engaged in a murder of a musician signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body in Las Vegas off of the I-15 freeway. He then attempted to evade and obstruct the investigation into the murder, including ordering witnesses not to speak with law enforcement.
Let's run through the murder of Rayshawn Williams and exactly why they're tying Big U to the murder of Rayshawn Williams. Rayshawn was signed to Big U's record label, Unique Music. So on January 20th, 2021, Big U sent Rayshawn Williams to Vegas to record music in a Grammy-nominated studio. He got an Airbnb for Rayshawn Williams, and he paid for the studio time for a week. Rayshawn Williams was to record a bunch of music, and afterwards, Big U would choose which music he can get behind according to the affidavit. But according to the documents, when Rayshawn Williams got to Vegas, he really wasn't taking advantage of being able to record in a Grammy-nominated studio. He will record one day, take the next day off. They won't see him the following day. He come back, and then they don't see him again. But a Grammy-nominated studio, right, one of the employees contacted Big U, and they let Big U know, hey, bruh, you paying for studio time, but homie ain't really coming to record like that. Big U, being really annoyed according to the court documents, hopped in his vehicle with one of his right-hand mans who goes by Robinson. So Big U and Robinson hopped in the car and they drove to Vegas. Big U popped up at Rayshawn Williams' Airbnb at about 2 a.m. on January 24th. When confronted by Big U for being lazy and not recording, Rayshawn Williams would tell Big U that he didn't go to the studio a couple of days because he didn't have a ride to the studio. It's unclear exactly how that discussion went, but it couldn't have went too bad because Big U would still schedule a studio session for 7 p.m. that day, and Rayshawn Williams would join Big U at the studio a couple hours later, around like 9-ish p.m. So Rayshawn Williams and Big U went to the studio, according to the documents, and they recorded records and heard the other records that Rayshawn Williams had recorded, and they left the studio around 12:30 a.m. Officials believe that Big U turned off his phone shortly after leaving the studio with Rayshawn Williams because Big U's phone stopped reporting data shortly after 12:30 a.m. But officials will say they know that Big U drove the vehicle with Rayshawn Williams in it back to the Airbnb because around 1:13 a.m., They arrived at the Airbnb according to the surveillance footage, and Rayshawn Williams got out of the vehicle and went inside and grabbed all of his belongings, despite the fact that Rayshawn Williams' flight wasn't scheduled until the following day, and the Airbnb checkout wasn't scheduled until the following day. So Rayshawn Williams grabbing all of his belongings from out the house was kind of suspicious according to officials, but he grabbed all of his belongings and got back into the vehicle with Big U according to the officials. Per the Airbnb footage, Rayshawn Williams and Big U would drive off together. Big U's phone wouldn't come back on or start pinging information until about 2:15 a.m. A witness at the studio would say that Big U returned back to the studio without Rayshawn Williams at 3 a.m. in the morning. Now, the witness would say that Big U was drenched in sweat, and when they asked Big U what he was doing, he said that he just left the gym. About 6 hours later, Rayshawn Williams' body was found in a ditch near North Vegas at about 9 a.m. in the morning. Now, police believed, or they determined his death was a manner of a homicide. Investigators believe that between 1:13 a.m. and 2:15 a.m., Big U and Rayshawn Williams drove away from the Airbnb. Big U drove Rayshawn Williams to North Vegas, shot and killed Rayshawn Williams, and dumped his body in a ditch, and then drove back to the studio drenched in sweat. Investigators will say, according to witness testimony, that Big U and Rayshawn Williams had an altercation at the studio before they ultimately left together. And the altercation stemmed from Big U discovering that while Rayshawn Williams was in Vegas, one of the songs that he recorded at that studio was a record that could be interpreted as a Big U diss track. According to officials, they have a witness account of the altercation, but they don't have the footage of the altercation because shortly after Rayshawn's body was found, Big U instructed the studio to delete or remove all equipment that was in the studio the night that the altercation took place, as well as delete all the surveillance footage. So they don't have the footage of the actual altercation, but they have a first-hand account of it. And that's why they're charging Big U with the murder of Rayshawn Williams.
Answered questions when he was down there. They asked him when the last time you saw this person or this person, that person, and he told them, oh, 6 months, a year. Nigga, it's not believable that a human being went that long without washing their hands because your skin get up under his nails. You know, you had to see him, so he kind of himself saying he ain't been around him, but his DNA, but that ain't even the worst. The worst ain't even come out. So I told Six, until it come out, you don't say nothing, it come out, it's in the blog.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Wack. From my perspective, I don't know about them 6 months. The 6 months is kind of like, bro, if there's eyewitnesses who seen you at the studio that night, it's kind of 6 months is hard to believe, especially if this is somebody who used to live with you. This is somebody who was signed to your label. Not seeing them in 6 months, but they're signed to you is kind of like, I don't know about that one. But in terms of the DNA, there has been some misinformation being spread about Big U's DNA being found under the fingernail of Rayshawn Williams. The truth about that is they did indeed get Big U's DNA, and they did indeed test it. Now, the DNA results came back inconclusive, but we can't exclude him completely, meaning Rayshawn Williams probably had multiple people's DNA under his fingernails, right? He probably had his girl, had his mom, right? So they're saying that we can't completely say Big U's DNA is here, but we can't say it's not either. So it's inconclusive. Investigating this murder and trying to really pin down Big U was the beginning of this entire investigation into Big U Enterprise and the RICO we currently see with the Rolling 60s. Without this murder, this investigation in RICO never happens. But this murder isn't the only charge on this RICO. They're charging Big U, as you guys just heard, and his associates with robbery, fraud, human trafficking. So let's get into some of these charges and really break it down. So let's get into the human trafficking charge.
Henley's criminal enterprise also engaged in other crimes, including transporting prostitutes across state lines, extorting strip clubs.
According to officials, Big U utilized this woman right here, Amani Afalaj, who he was also intimate with. He utilized her to transport 304s across state lines often. So she would recruit the women to come to Big U parties when he's chilling with the boys. Now, according to police, one of these interactions was actually captured on wiretap, which is severely underwhelming. When we hear the charge human trafficking, I'm thinking something crazy. Right, like busting down some 304s, bro. I guess it's considered that. The human trafficking dates back to an incident that took place November of 2022, which really highlights how long they've been investigating for. So in November of 2022, Big U paid Afalaj $1,000 to transport 3 women from the Central District of California to Las Vegas to engage in prostitution and other crimes under Nevada law. The feds, being armed with this information, decided not to go to Big U. because that's who they want. They decided to go directly to, let's call her by her first name, Armani. So the feds went to Armani and presented her with everything they had. They said, yo, we got the wiretaps, bro. Do you want to be honest with us? And she kept it honest with them. June of 2023, they went to her house and they told her they got the wiretaps, they know everything that happened, and they planned on charging her with sex trafficking if she don't cooperate and speak to them. So she admitted that she promoted prostitution, but she did say that she doesn't think that she's a pimp. She's just known for bringing the hoes around whenever she's asked to bring the hoes around. Now, according to Armani, we call her by her first name now, she told investigators that she provided Big U with women as long as the women were paid. That representation is corroborated by a series of intercepted calls from January 2023, when Armani said she was bringing 7 women to Big U, and after which Big U talked to Armani and others about her being upset when they did not get paid right away. According to Armani, she told her women, cash, charge them before you hit. Cash before smash. So apparently when the women was coming around and they were smashing before getting cash, you know, some of them was getting shorter. You feel me? They wasn't getting the full amount, and Armani wasn't having it. So that's on wiretap as well, of them having that conversation of why you're not paying my girls the right amount. Here's where the story gets a little crazy. So she talked to the investigators. She let them know, yeah, you know, I provided women for Big U. He paid for it, et cetera, et cetera. So she agreed to meet the investigators at a particular time and date. But the investigators told her, hey, bro, don't tell Big U we talked to you. You got it? So she agreed, right? And her knowing that she's on wiretap, by the way, right? Because the police is showing her and playing her the wiretap of their conversation and saying, yo, own up to it. And that's why she owned up to it. So knowing she's on wiretap and knowing the investigators told her, don't talk to anybody about this. As soon as they left, I'm talking about that day immediately, there's a wiretap conversation of Big U, Armani, and others on the phone where Armani is telling Big U the feds just came by. The document says, however, after they told her, don't talk to Big U, wiretap communication between Big U, her, and others showed that after Armani's interview, she met with Big U and other Big U Enterprise associates to discuss her interaction with law enforcement. Those calls started right after the interview with an associate calling Big U, demanding to talk to him immediately about money. On that call, Big U made sure that the caller kept Armani where she was at so that Big U could meet up with her about it. The next day, Big U and Armani talked on the phone about what happened yesterday. Armani never met with the investigators after the conversation with Big U, and she stopped cooperating, right? She refused to cooperate any further, which is why she was arrested and picked up in this RICO. Now, according to wiretaps, Big U was talking to another associate, let him know while on the phone, while on a wiretap, that his lawyer told him that he shouldn't be on the phone. So Big U was well aware. I'm talking about like well aware, like what was going on. So he knew they were investigating him ever since late 2022, early 2023. They're also charging Big U with robberies and a string of extortion that stems anywhere from extorting individual citizens, extorting NBA All-Stars, extorting entertainers, and extorting local businesses.
The RICO charges against Mr. Henley and his associates reflect a pattern of crimes that runs the gambit from extortion to robbery to murder to tax fraud and to human trafficking, all under the umbrella of a well-organized criminal organization led by Mr. Henley. Additionally, Mr. Henley duped the County of Los Angeles by running a nonprofit named Developing Options, which was set up to pull youth out of the gang life and promote anti-gang solutions. Yet Mr. Henley continued to personally orchestrate violent gang activity that impact our communities.
It's at this stage in the indictment we get introduced to Loose Cannon's role and Brick Baby role in this indictment. You see, Loose Cannon and Brick Baby were described as essentially Big U's henchmen, people who were under Big U who committed crimes and robberies on behalf of Big U. And there's several instances that they describe. The first instance would be Big U and Loose Cannon and the dispensary play. So there was a local dispensary paying Big U about $25,000 a month for protection. Now, the dispensary owner got sick and tired of paying it, and he stopped paying it. And when he stopped paying the $25,000 a month, Big U said, according to the officials now, Big U said, okay, you're not going to pay no more? Okay, cool. So in retaliation, on July 5th of 2021, a couple of Big U associates, about a dozen plus, they ran up in the dispensary with guns and armed. Now, strategically, they ran up in the dispensary with no mask on, barefaced, because they wanted the victim one to know that we are Big U guys, and this is because you didn't pay Big U that $25,000. And one of the dudes involved, as you guys see right here, Tremaine Williams, was Loose Cannon. They took the belongings of the customers, the owners, anybody that was in the dispensary, they robbed you. Like, it don't matter if you were a customer or an employee, you got robbed. They took the marijuana, they took all the cash from the dispensary, they took it all. Now, here's the part of the story that I found almost unbelievable. Like, I couldn't believe it. Right? If I didn't already hear the story before, I would think it was impossible. So during the robbery, apparently one of the assailants contacted Big U according to authorities. They put the store owner, the dispensary owner, on the phone with Big U on FaceTime, where Big U is letting him know, hey, bro, I try to warn you, man. I told you to keep paying that $25,000 according to officials. Now, Flacco, I don't want no smoke. I'm just reporting the news, people, all right? So after they robbed him, they put, the dude on FaceTime with Big U. And, Big U essentially said, all right, listen, they taking your stuff to my crib. Come over to my crib and we can have a conversation about you possibly getting some things back. But, we got to reinstate our original agreement. So the victim went to Big U's premises, as you guys see right here. And others were there, including Loose Cannon, according to the victim. Now, Big U told this person, that's how you rob yourself. Then Big U demanded $10,000 from the victim to ensure that other robberies did not occur. Now, according to reports, Big U also directed the victim to identify other businesses or dispensaries that he could similarly rob and assure that the victim, would not get robbed himself, and they will also compensate him from whatever they get. They reinstated the agreement, but it wasn't 25 bands a month as it used to be because he was no longer at that peak of business. So they agreed and settled on a lower amount. But here's the thing. Victim one went working with the police, bro. He said, bro, I done had enough, bro. All right. I'm talking. So then he began to cooperate with the police, and they began to scheme up methods to really catch Big U in the act of extortion, which we will get to shortly.
And so basically it's like, cause he'll be like, he'll manipulate things. Like, we'll go and do something, and the same niggas we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later when we trying to, counting everything, right? And we be like, how the they get that? Oh, well, we're gonna just give them like $40,000 back and stuff like that. But cause it's actually putting us in paperwork, right? And like doing like real police. I seen him get like 20 guns, and when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies. But I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like he was doing like shit like that, and I didn't catch on. So it was like, I'm waking up now. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm high tech shit. I'm his right hand man. You get what I'm saying? So when it came down to like dirt and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it. You get what I'm saying? And then like one day,
you know why he wanted to get a dude back to 40, right?
That's the exact sequence of event that took place with the dispensary. Robbed the dispensary. The person is at the house because they FaceTime Big U allegedly, according to the documents, while at the dispensary. They agreed to meet up at the crib.
Describe that how it happened on the paperwork, right? On No Jumper, you know what I'm saying? And they try to tie that.
They meet up at the crib. They give the guy a portion of his money back, told him, hey, bro, you got to get back on the payment plan. According to the document, Loose Cannon admitting to this on No Jumper contributed to him being charged and indicted for it, because the victim been saying Loose Cannon was involved, but there's no video footage of Loose Cannon involved. There's no surveillance of Loose Cannon involved. But Loose Cannon saying this on No Jumper led to the feds indicting him for being involved, because the victim statement and your statement aligns with exactly what took place. So this is bad. In that same interview, Loose Cannon would break down how they robbed Meek Mill at the instructions of Big U, and they were able to extort $50,000 from Rick Ross, but Big U took all the money and iced them out, and that's how they fell out.
Cause it's actually putting us in paperwork, right? And like doing like real police shit. I seen the nigga get like 20 guns, and when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies. But I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like he was doing like shit like that, and I didn't catch on. So it was like, I'm waking up now. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm his right hand man. You get what I'm saying? So when it came down to like dirt and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it. You get what I'm saying? And then like one day,
you know why he wanted to get a dude back to 40, right? Because he was gonna make dude give him 20 for getting it back.
Of course.
And kept you out of it.
Of course. He did that to when I did that to Meek Mills and Rick Ross.
What'd you do to them?
So
the club, when you sweated them in the club?
Yeah.
Dude, and Meek and Rick have no idea that Draw sent you out.
No, yeah, they sent that because I called Ross. I'm like, Ross,
boy, this shit getting crazy.
Drop off the 50,000 and we're gonna let Meek live on crib. So Ross dropped off the 50,000, and so me and the homies we go back He stopped answering the phone. He stopped picking up.
Luce Cannon and Big U's relationship, as it's identified in the document, it's similar to Big U's and Bricc Baby's relationship. Now, Luce Cannon is indicted for doing robberies on behalf of Big U. Bricc Baby is also indicted for doing robberies on behalf of Big U. On November 11th, 2022, Bricc Baby and Big U had a conversation that was wiretapped. During that conversation, Bricc Baby identified as Mitchell. Big U identified as Henley. Mitchell, Bricc Baby, was, having a conversation about how much money Bricc Baby should give to Big U in the recent robbery they partaked in. Now, if we scroll down, you will see Big U is talking to another gentleman in a wiretap call, and that conversation goes, they robbed which is Bricc Baby, from some ish. They made a ninja call his plug, and then they booked him. So in another wiretap call, Big U was talking to somebody who confirms that Bricc Baby made somebody call their plug, and then they robbed the plug. And apparently, Big U only got a portion of the money because they had to split it between 5 to 7 people. And remember the owner of the dispensary that allegedly got robbed by Luce Cannon and Big U? Well, that owner began to cooperate with the feds, right? Began to cooperate with police. And they began to record all his interactions with Big U. When Big U called demanding he bring his weekly payments, when he pulled up to give Big U the weekly payments, all of that got recorded on video. This is one of the dudes I really feel bad for. He was just a legal business owner who opened up a dispensary in a wrong neighborhood that was ran by Big U in the rolling 60s, because you can see here, they agreed, give us $2,000 every Monday, and he had to bring $2,000 every Monday, 8 bands a month. It got to a point where, the agreement didn't even matter, right? According to the document, Big U would call and be like, hey, bro, I need $3,000, right? I'm trying to get a gift for somebody. And he had to bring the money whenever he was called. And when he don't, well, you see threats right here where it says in the document, Big U told him, do we need to do another takeover like we did before? I think dude was ready to play ball, but once it gets to a point where, you're literally being drained dry, you are being drained so dry that you don't even have enough to live. Like, you don't even have enough to run your business. Like, you essentially have to tell at this point to survive and live and eat. So the dude began to work with the feds, and the feds began to give him money to give to Big U. He's on camera paying Big U $1,000 of his extortion fee, $1,500 of his extortion fee, $1,000. And then it got to a point around 2023 where I guess Big U was sort of understanding the feds were investigating him. So then his homeboy began to accept the money on his behalf. Robinson accepted numerous weekly payments on behalf of Big U, according to the officials. And all of this, by the way, is on camera, including the wiretaps where they're demanding that the victim bring them their money. There's a great deal of extortion claims. And if I cover everything, we'll be here all day. All right, we'll be here all day. But I think it's unfortunate. As of now, Big U is innocent until proven guilty. As of now, Luce Cannon is innocent until proven guilty. As of now, Bricc Baby is innocent until proven guilty. Now, I think it's very unfortunate that they find themselves in this situation. And at the end of the day, man, this should be a wake-up call to everybody, bro, that, living a life of on the straight and narrow, bro, is always the best option, bro, right? Because it don't matter how long ago you do crimes, bro, it's always going to come back to bite you. Now, this is part 1 where we address the prostitution, the murder, and the robberies and the extortion. In part 2, we're going to do a deep dive into the fraud claims, like the PPP loan, the grid program, development options. So, we're going to take a deep dive into the wire fraud, the embezzlement and things of that such, because it's so complicated, it's so intricate that it's going to take me about 40 minutes as well. So just to not overextend you, we're going to stop it here, right? But if you're still watching and you like this video, click on this video right here on my screen to find out why Pop the...
Now, YouTube family, I told y'all I got that content, man. I know y'all needed that content, and I told y'all I got it. Now, if y'all are hearing birds chirping outside, because I'm out here in beautiful, sunny Los Angeles, California, as y'all already know, and I just left a note. John Patrick done sat up there, you understand me, and spazzed on Cliff World TV. Now, we can go ahead and jump right off into this content, and of course, yes, at this point, I'm referring to myself in third person. Yes, now, the infamous WAC 100 goes off on the Cliff World TV because the Cliff World TV just simply wanted to know why would 600 come to the internet talking about that DNA underneath Big U's fingernails. Now, with no further ado, we finna get off into this content, man, of WAC 100. Like I say, he done tripped act. You know what I'm saying? I had to back out this one. I said, hey, I plead the 5th WAC. I plead the 5th. So with no further ado, let's jump off into the content, man. WAC, now WAC, let me ask you something. Let it out.
why would 600 even come to the internet with it at all though? Just for the sake of it.
Hey, bro, let me tell you something, bro.
Go ahead, Wack.
First of all, for the world is like this. Big U. It's a lot that went on y'all don't know about, first of all.
Okay.
But even though it was Big U, let me ask you something, homie, see how smart you is, whoever I'm talking to.
It's Cliff.
It's Cliff World TV.
Cliff World. Do they got Big U in custody right now?
Last time I looked up, no, but I don't know.
Last thing we said is the one
Hold on. Why the you think that is, nigga? Take a guess. Let me see how smart
Wack,
you
I don't
are.
even want to guess.
Why you think he knew where not to be?
I don't even want to take a guess.
You niggas are slow. You contract-minded. Listen, nigga, I wish a nigga would play something to tell me, hey, they owe you, nigga. He really was helping the nigga. What the police said, we've been investigating since 2021.
Okay.
He's come to us March 3rd. Whatever the they was gonna do is done. Why you think Big U wasn't sleeping in his house at 4:30 this morning? Take a guess.
Hey,
so which one you want? Oh, shit, you knew about this shit, say nothing? Oh, nigga, you putting the clips on it with the family saying. Warning, warning, warning. Which one you want? You niggas is confusing. Do he ride with the police and do what the family say? I'm going to send you the clip right now, Remo. Play it for the world. Does he ride with the police and do what the family say and say, don't tell nobody, just let them go get him? You know what we did? Put him to sleep. We ain't going to say nothing. What did we do, Remo?
That's crazy. I don't know.
Woke him up, right?
Yeah.
Nigga, I show you text messages, the family cussing her out, calling us every name of the book. You snake, y'all play my mama. Whoopty, 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 whoop. So which one you want, Cliff World? You want a nigga to do what the police say do and keep him asleep or wake him up? Which one you want, nigga? Which one would you want to happen to you if you was the nigga that they were saying, hey, he don't know this, but this is coming. Don't say nothing because they coming to get him. Would you want to don't say nothing? I'll wake you up. Which one, bro? I'm waiting.
Man, hit me with a sleek text message. Don't tell everybody.
Huh?
I said, hit me with a sleek little text.
Hit him with a message and let him know.
Don't tell. Hit me from the payphone or something. Hit me from the payphone. Don't tell the internet though. Hit me from the payphone. Don't tell the internet.
Hold on, I'm glad
Hit me from the payphone.
Here you go, Remo.
Payphone.
No, hold on. Remo, here you go. Check your text.
All right.
Tell me the date of that, nigga. That's the Big U wife. What's the date of that, Remo?
All right. So yeah, after you got that message.
Huh?
After you got the message, you hit up Big U's wife. You said, sis, 911. 1 sec, let me get Solo. And you gave him a heads up.
What I tell him?
You said, 1 sec, let me get Solo. He needs to leave. Bad. In caps, all caps. He needs to leave.
I said so bad, right?
Yeah, full bad.
What the 600 saying is 4 rolling 60 telling on it.
All right, so Wack, man.
Oh, so that's what the 4 bad means.
What you talking about, nigga? You little brain,
Let me ask you this, Wack.
You niggas go to talking, nigga. Because if a nigga wouldn't, I just sent you a clip. Play the clip. You gonna hear the people saying, don't say nothing. Don't tell nobody nothing. Don't say nothing. So which one you want? If he wouldn't have said nothing and y'all found out nigga knew, you would say what? Why you didn't say nothing?
Now one thing about it, Wack, once it's content, it's content. Now, I ain't the one that brought it to the internet. You smell me? When it's on the internet, people gonna circulate it around like NBC News, CNN News, ABC News, MSNBC
First of all, let me tell you how it got to the internet. I got a lady on my side, young lady named Pink from Chicago. Every Monday, she has a room with no room for the week on the other side called Murder Mysteries. She pulls shit up off the internet that's there, newspaper clippings, and they read it and they try to figure it out.
It's off murder.
They pulled up Rayshon Williams. They read the murder mystery. They reading it. It's on the Google right now.
They read the murder mysteries and they trying to solve the murder.
In Las Vegas desert. It's been there since 2021, right? So they're reading it. As they read it and they try to figure it out, the mother used to work for Big U. Did you know that, Cliff World?
I don't know nothing.
Did you know that the mother was a team mother on the motherfucking Crenshaw coach, passed out Capri Suns? Now let me ask you something, Cliff World.
I don't know nothing.
If this lady is working for your organization and her son lived with you for 2 years, you know her voice, don't you?
Wack, I gotta plead the fifth. I don't know. Wack.
Do you know her voice? Yes or no?
Hey, Wack, I don't know nothing.
You'll be familiar with her voice.
You don't know shit.
You'll be familiar with her voice.
Up. Because you don't know her voice. You get what I'm saying?
Wack, I gotta step out of this one, Wack. I gotta step out of this one, man.
You don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm a withdraw.
Who worked for you at an organization for 3-4 years, whose son lived in your house for 2 years, you wouldn't know her fucking voice?
Sheesh.
Well, nigga, if you don't want to talk about it, nigga, then get up. So,
Hey,
Remo, go in on and press play and let the world hear what the instructions was from the family and what the nigga 600 did do. Maybe they'll respect it.
yeah, let's hear
You
that.
got it. This is exclusive.
All right, I'm about to play
Let's
it.
hear Remo.
I don't know what this is, but I'm about to press play.
Let's play Remo.
And told my mom.
Okay, well, let me understand something, right? This been a couple years. What year did your brother killed?
My brother was killed in 22.
So it took them 3 years to do DNA?
Now, as y'all was so eloquently able to see and hear with the listening devices, plus the peoples that are arranged inside of y'all head, as y'all was able to see and hear, the Cliff World TV just had a question for the WAC 100. Now, why would 600 come to the internet with this information? Hey, man, it is said that this information was already available. Now, as y'all can hear from WAC 100's response, he really went into real detail. You know what I'm saying? Murky detail. So much detail. He was asking me questions that I ain't trying to answer the question. It's a disco inferno out here in Los Angeles, California right now, and I'm still here. So, no, WAC. I plead the fifth. Now, currently things are shaking up in the universe right now. It's shaking up in the no jumper universe, rather. Because it is alleged, and it is said, man, because they don't put press conferences out. It's out there now. They say that boy Big U on the loose, man. And speaking of loose Cannon is apprehended. Brick Baby is apprehended. A whole bunch of other people are apprehended. Now, it's this store called the New Leaf Store, downtown Los Angeles, California. Now, there's a picture of an Asian guy at the bottom of this lineup, and he was also apprehended. So I don't know what role he played or whatever the case may be, but the feds is in town. Now, I seen a ridiculous comment on the last video. Cliff, man, where is your theme music, dog? Come on, man, you ain't got your theme music. I'm away from my desk. I told you, I just said I'm in sunny California. I know you hear the birds chirping. Hold on. Did you hear the birds chirping? The birds are definitely chirping. It's sunny. And yeah, I'm not around the desk. I'm using a different editing software. Y'all gotta bear with me. Man, y'all gotta bear with me. Like I said, I got popped in the leg, man. I'm still giving y'all content. Make sure y'all go check out that vlog with me and Hellcat at the Marathon Burger. We seen Baby Hoggy up there, man. Go on the channel, find the vlog. You know YouTube be suppressing things. But anyways, you fans, all I got.
Cuz, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that, bro. Don't do. I got my baby here. I got my baby here. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
We out here right now. Cowboy talking about he wanted to fade. Cuz ran like a straight hoe. Like, bro, jumped in the car and left when I put on my shoes, bro. This is some real shit. Like, cuz, like, nigga from, where you from?
I'm from Oakland, my nigga. You feel me? I'm just trying to get this nigga Cowboy to flatten my tire. I'm trying to get brother to help me get my shit back to where I gotta get to. And then bro just get out the car. He trying to squabble with bro, but I'm like, bro, I got my baby in the car and all type of shit. Now ain't the time to be doing all that, Cowboy. Bro, I got.
But when I asked him for a fade, when I put on my shoes, what happened?
The nigga left. You feel me? I don't know why he left, but maybe he left because I got my baby in the car.
Nah, we were supposed to be
but you feel
pulling
like,
over.
Maybe
Dead
niggas
homies.
pull up.
Now, YouTube family, I told y'all I got that content, man. I know y'all needed that content, and all I got it. Now, if y'all are hearing birds chirping outside, because I'm out here in beautiful, sunny Los Angeles, California, as y'all already know, and I just left the No Jumper News.
He out there, he on the New Jumper News, doing things, you know what I'm saying? They got him out there, he Hellcat, No Jumper News.
We have over 600 vendors worldwide. There's a lot on our plate. Too many emails. But with Gemini,
He went to a marathon.
21 at a special in Los Angeles where victim one worked. Leading up to the robbery, the Big U Enterprise had been extorting victim one for years, and victim one had been paying the Big U Enterprise up to $25,000. And all the security cameras were disabled. Witness stated that replacement DVR, who had previously installed the DVR equipment at the recording studio, also spoke with the FBI. According to Witness 3, on January 31, 2021, Witness 3 went to the studio to fix video cameras that were not working at the studio. After Witness 2 called Witness 3 to fix them, Witness 3 analyzed the equipment and concluded the DVR system was unplugged or turned off. According to Witness 1, DS then sent him money to purchase new DVR equipment for the studio. 65. I believe that there is probable cause to conclude that footage from the DVR system would have shown an altercation between Henley and R.W. on the night of January 24, 2021, and, at minimum, Henley and R.W. leaving the studio together shortly before R.W.'s murder. 66. On January 27, 2021, NLVPD detective spoke with R.W.'s family, which was the first time his family learned that R.W. had died. 67. On January 28, 2021, NLVPD detectives again spoke with R.W.'s family. Generally, his family confirmed that R.W. lived in California and worked as a musician. He was recently working with a music producer, Henley, who was also from California, and Henley had booked R.W.'s Airbnb travel. R.W.'s family explained that R.W. was close with Henley and trusted him. Henley coached R.W. in football since R.W. was young. R.W. lived with Henley for a time while in high school. At some point, Henley believed R.W. had worn a chain that belonged to Henley's Sunday school without permission, and R.W. was kicked out of Henley home. 68 p.m. R.W. S.N. added that she called Henley on January 27, 2021, after learning R.W. had been killed. Henley claimed he had not seen or heard from R.W. and did not know his whereabouts. PM confronted Henley about arranging the trip for R.W. to record in Las Vegas, and then Henley admitted he had done so. PM had overheard Henley speaking with someone named K.F. about R.W.'s travel arrangements. In a later interview during the pendency of this investigation, PM said that Henley would call her on a weekly basis prior to the murder, but after that call on January 27, 2021, PM never again heard from Henley. 69. NLVPD also learned that C.A., a friend of R.W., spent the weekend in Las Vegas and visited R.W. at R.W.'s Airbnb. According to C.A., at about 2 a.m. on Sunday morning, Henley came to the Airbnb and asked R.W. why he did not show up to the music studio the day prior. R.W. claimed he did not have a ride to the studio. C.A. reported that it was odd that Henley actually took the time to show up at the Airbnb in Las Vegas to confront R.W. C.A. and his family left for California Sunday afternoon at about 2 p.m., and C.A. had not heard from R.W. since Saturday. Throughout the entire investigation, the family members and friends who have been interviewed have pointed to Henley as the person they believe to be responsible for R.W.'s murder. Within days, multiple people were sending Instagram messages to Henley demanding answers for what happened to R.W., all of which went without response. 71. NLVPD searched R.W.'s Instagram. R.W.'s final Instagram message to Henley regarding the price of a song was sent on January 24, 2021 at 1:57 p.m. Henley did not respond until January 26, 2021 at 8:14 a.m., almost 24 hours after Henley left Las Vegas following R.W.'s murder. In the meantime, the evidence shows that Henley had seen R.W. at the studio the night of January 24, 2021, after R.W. had sent that Instagram message, and Henley presumably would have discussed the price of the song at that time, if at all. Thus, it appears that Henley sent the message on January 26, 2021, in an attempt to plead ignorance that R.W. was murdered and to avoid suspicion from law enforcement of his involvement in the murder. 72. On February 3, 2021, NLVPD conducted a recorded interview of K.F. K.F. was the account manager for Unique Music and handled the artist's travel needs and expenses. K.F. used K.F.'s mother's Uber account to coordinate rides for R.W. while R.W. was in Las Vegas. 73. K.F. confirmed he worked directly for Henley and had arranged for R.W.'s flight to Las Vegas. R.W. was supposed to fly home Tuesday, January 26, 2021, possibly in the morning. 74. K.F. also arranged living accommodations for R.W. at the Airbnb for the week of January 19, 2021 through January 26, 2021. Additionally, KF explained that part of his job was to arrange for transportation via Uber to and from the studio for RW, who left 2 controllers and a jacket at the Airbnb that the Airbnb owner had contacted KF about. KF used an Airbnb application on his phone to make the reservation, but the account actually belonged to a friend named HT75. In reviewing the audio of this interview, it is clear that KF hesitated when answering several questions and appeared to be elusive about several answers. KF claimed he did not have a phone number for Hanley and had no way to get in touch with him. KF eventually provided Hanley's phone number but still claimed he did not know how to get in touch with him and did not know when he would see him again. 76. KF also claimed he did not know the address of the recording studio in Las Vegas, even though KF was the person tasked with making the transportation arrangements for RW to get to the studio. KF then stated that he merely provided cash app transfers to RW so that RW could book the Uber rides before backtracking and stating he did order Uber rides for him. Similarly, KF claimed that he did not know the name of the music studio or the engineer RW was scheduled to work with. 77. KF advised that RW made music and was supposed to make 1 song per day in Las Vegas. KF said RW did not go to studio on January 19, 2021. Was supposed to go every day after that, but probably did not go every day. On one day, RW did not go and said he would double up the following day. RW texted KF and said he was enjoying himself and was doing well. When KF called him, he did not answer. KF texted him, but at a certain point, the text message went green instead of blue. The last time KF received a text message from RW was at 11:58 p.m. on January 24, 2021, less than 2 hours before his death. 78. When the FBI attempted to interview KF, he told them he did not want to speak with them. 79. Soon after the interview of KF, NLVPD located HT. She explained that she did not authorize the use of her Airbnb account and was very upset about it. She explained that her godbrother, KF, used her Airbnb account to book a room in Las Vegas and then learned someone had been killed during that stay. 80. HT explained that KF used her account to book the room but used his own credit card. HT received a notification regarding the booking and asked KF why he used her account to book a room. KF apologized and claimed he did not realize he booked it on her account. At the time, HT said she did not think it was a big deal and did not press the issue. HT did not know RW and explained that she worked in the medical field. 81. Since KF had used HT's Airbnb account to reserve the room, HT intercepted messages between the Airbnb host and KF and provided them to law enforcement. HT saw a message from KF asking if the Airbnb property had video surveillance and confronted KF about the messages because she did not want her account to be associated with any problems. KF told her about RW's murder and said he was trying to figure out what happened to RW. 7. Title Roman 3 interceptions. 82. In 2023, after NLVPD attempted to interview parties about the murder, Henley and his associates made several inculpatory calls regarding the murder, which were intercepted by law enforcement pursuant to a Title Roman 3 wiretap. First, NLVPD went to Henley's home at Henley's 62 ND Street premises when he was not there. After leaving a business card and informing Henley's wife, SH, that they were there following the 2-year anniversary of RW's homicide, were new to the case, and were just talking to everyone who was close to RW. SH called Henley from Henley's father's phone. SH had not done this before during the entirety of the wiretap. Henley answered, "What's up, Dad?" further showing the anomalous nature of the call. SH then explained that the detectives came by their home and were looking for him and talking to others. Henley asked how many officers but was otherwise extremely circumspect. In the hundreds of hours of calls captured that I have listened to, Henley's voice was notably and conspicuously different on this call. 83. SH also lied to police, stating that Henley only lived at Henley's 62 ND Street premises sometimes. In actuality, the FBI observed on surveillance and in months of cell site location data that Henley was there most nights unless he was traveling. After the call, Henley did not return home for 2 weeks. Again, something he had not done during the entirety of surveillance or cell site location data received by law enforcement. Moreover, that night, victim 1 paid an extortion fee to Robinson, who was driving Henley's Mercedes. Again, Robinson driving Henley Mercedes was something that had not occurred before during the course of the investigation. Based on my training and experience, I believe that Henley not returning home for 2 weeks and having one of his associates driving his car were attempts by Henley to avoid law enforcement regarding R.W.'s murder. 84, on or about February 14, 2023, at approximately 12:05 p.m., Henley called Martin. During the intercepted call, Henley told Martin he wanted to meet with him at Martin Auto Shop to discuss the police investigation into R.W.'s murder. The following is a transcription of a portion of the conversation. Henley, the 5 detectives went by my house this morning from my Las Vegas, and I said they wanted to talk to me. You hear me, Martin? Yeah, Henley, I'm probably let you know. They was asking about, and I'm told I'm 2-year anniversary. 2-year anniversary. It was who they wanted to follow up and talk to everybody who was close. And I'm where you at, Martin. I'm at the shop. Henley, all right, I'm pulling up on you. Martin, 885. Based on other intercepts, I know that Henley believed the FBI may have been intercepting his telephone calls. Therefore, I believe Henley wanted to talk to Martin in person regarding the murder in order to avoid speaking on a telephone line that may be intercepted by law enforcement. 86. Following the call to Martin, Henley immediately placed multiple calls to D.S., the person who reportedly removed the video surveillance footage from the studio. The first few calls were not answered. Then, Henley told D.S. he needed to meet with him. The following is a transcription of a portion of the conversation. Henley, where you at? D.S. At the house, ready to jump in the shower. What you want? Henley, I need to pull up on you. D.S. 8. I'm right here at the house. Henley, 8. I gotta pull up on you in. D.S. How long you gonna be? Henley, you ain't about to go nowhere. Are you? D.S. Nah. Henley. Okay. D.S. I'll just jump in the shower though, just to be ready though. Henley. Okay, D.S. All right, for sure. 87. As discussed above, D.S. reportedly removed video surveillance evidence of Henley and R.W.'s presence at the studio hours before the homicide, namely all the security cameras and DVRs from the studio. 88. On February 16, 2023, Henley was on the phone with D.S. Henley told D.S. he was traveling to Las Vegas the following day where witness 2 was located. NLVPD had begun interviews of witnesses regarding R.W.'s murder, and I believe that Henley may have been going to Las Vegas to confront witness 2 to see if he had talked to law enforcement. 89. On February 21, 2023, Henley received a phone call from his son. Henley's son told Henley that NLVPD called him about R.W. and suggested that detectives had spoken to S.H. and Henley already. Henley told his son that nobody had spoken to the detectives and directed him not to talk to anyone anymore about R.W. 90. The same day, Henley called S.H. to tell her that the NLVPD detectives had called their son about R.W. and what was said. Henley told S.H. to call L.D., but on FaceTime, Henley told S.H. to be careful about what she said over the phone. S.H. said he had nothing to worry about. When the FBI approached L.D. about this, L.D. hired a lawyer who told law enforcement that her client had no memory of this and had nothing to do with it. 91. The same day, Henley called Martin and told him he had been trying to reach him. Martin said he was going to go get his other phone. Henley requested Martin to call him. 92. Later the same day, Henley called Martin to confirm that he was at Martin Auto Shop. Henley told Martin he was on his way to meet with Martin at his auto shop. 93. Still later, Henley called Robinson. Robinson was at one of Henley's homes, and Henley said he was heading to meet Robinson. 94. Based on my training and experience and knowledge of the investigation, I believe Henley was contacting Big U Enterprise members and associates, specifically those with knowledge of R.W.'s murder, to ensure that any statements to law enforcement were either suppressed or consistent with one another. Robbery in violation of a Hobbs Act and as racketeering activity. 95. According to witnesses, including victim 1, and corroborated repeatedly by the wiretap and recorded meetings with Big U Enterprise members, the Big U Enterprise sets up and executes robberies throughout Los Angeles. Normally, Henley provides the target and location while the robbery is committed by the Big U Enterprise or at the Big U Enterprise's direction using the Rolling 60 Seconds or other associates. The Big U Enterprise, as well as the individuals who personally commit the robberies, will take a cut and then often sell the robbery proceeds or give the robbery proceeds back to a victim as a power grab and to instill fear of future robberies or violence. 96. One such robbery occurred on July 5, 2021, at an unlicensed marijuana dispensary in Los Angeles where victim 1 worked. Leading up to the robbery, the Big U enterprise had been extorting victim 1 for years, and victim 1 had been paying the Big U enterprise up to $25,000 per month when victim 1 was at the top of his earning capacity. Shortly before the robbery, however, victim 1 had ceased paying extortion to the Big U enterprise, as victim 1 did not believe it was necessary or that he was receiving any benefit from the payments. 97. On the day of the robbery, approximately 11 of the Big U Enterprises members and associates, including Robinson and Williams, both of whom victim 1 knew well as Roland 60 Seconds members, rushed into the dispensary armed with firearms and without masks. They demanded belongings of anyone inside and stole cash and marijuana from the store before fleeing. At one point, they demanded a Rolex watch from one of the co-owners, but at Robinson's direction, they ended up letting him keep it. According to victim 1, while still at the dispensary, the robbers put victim 1 on the phone with Henley, who invited victim 1 to Henley home. 98. According to victim 1, when victim 1 arrived at the Henley Arlington premises, Robinson, Williams, and other robbers were there, as were the proceeds of the robbery. Inside, Henley told victim 1, "That's how you rob yourself." Henley then demanded $10,000 from victim 1 to ensure other robberies did not occur. Henley also directed victim 1 to identify other businesses or dispensaries that could be similarly robbed and assured victim 1 that the Big U enterprise would compensate him for identifying any robberies. Henley then provided a portion of the robbery proceeds back to victim. 99. Williams later admitted to this robbery and the aftermath on a podcast. On the No Jumper podcast, after stating that Williams was Henley's right-hand man, Williams explained, "So, basically, he'll manipulate things. We'll go and do something, and then the same niggas we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later as we trying to count everything, and we'd be like, how the fuck?" Williams then said that Henley would state, "Well, we're just going to give like $40,000 back." Like 100, who is a rival/counterpart of Henley for the Bloods, was also on the podcast and stated, "You know why he wanted to give the dude back the $40, right? Because he was going to make the dude give him $20 for getting it back." Williams then agreed, of course. He did that to 2 famous rappers. Williams then detailed demanding $50,000 from the celebrity rapper or they would kill the celebrity rapper M. Williams then said dropped off the $50,000, and Henley stopped answering the phone and then did not share any of the proceeds with Williams. According to further No Jumper and Vlad TV segments, Henley then served a cease and desist order on No Jumper, and this podcast episode was removed from the platform, although a recording of the episode remained available elsewhere online. 100. Williams' recounting of this robbery occurred years after the robbery of victim 1's dispensary and years after victim 1 had already recounted and documented the robbery for the FBI. 101. Lately, Williams has claimed in multiple interviews that he is no longer affiliated with Big U, whom he now refers to as Big Useless or Big Uterus. However, Williams continues to discuss former Big U enterprise business, to discuss and threaten violent assaults and robberies, and to actually commit the same. 102. For example, on January 3, 2025, outside of the No Jumper podcast filming location in Los Angeles, Williams struck a victim in the head multiple times with a firearm and pointed the firearm at the back of his head, while 2 other suspects removed valuables from the victim, including jewelry, cash, and a cell phone, an excess value of $5,000. The victim lost consciousness during the incident, which was captured on video and posted to social media, apparently to stoke fear and boast of Williams' penchant for violence. After the incident, Williams posted a 7-minute video on his YouTube channel discussing the beating, stating that he used to be Big Useless's enforcer, that he loved to fight, and that the incident could have went a lot worse. Williams' post also played a portion of the assault. 103. Similarly, on February 25, 2025, Williams posted a video on his YouTube channel to do something bad to your mama, baby, anybody. That same video, Williams walked through the check-in process through the fact that he would rob any celebrity who did not check in, including at an Arab, a restaurant, a car wash, or anywhere. Williams also said that he was with Henley when rapper Rakim Hashim Allen, actor PNB Rock, was robbed and killed, that they told him to comply, and that they would get the jewelry later. Williams also walked through the kidnapping of the famous rapper that Williams and Henley committed together, and then discussed several Big U enterprise associates being good in Los Angeles because they have checked, and some of those mentioned were developing options donors or former NBA players who have provided hundreds of thousands of dollars as purported gifts to Henley personally. 104. In February 2025, Williams also took part in a film conversation with multiple people on YouTube, in which Williams told another participant that you will lose your life. And then, when Williams found him, Williams was going to do something bad to him. 3. Further evidence of the Big U Enterprise's involvement in robberies. 105. Throughout this investigation, the FBI obtained many recordings of Big U Enterprise members and associates discussing robberies that they were committing or planning to commit. For example, on August 6, 2021, on a recorded call, Robinson told victim 1, Trina licked somebody that ain't even hard. All this shit is just, this ain't working, man. I'm like, man, I'm in the wrong business, homie. In my training and experience, an investigation into this case, lick is consistently used as slang for robbery. 106. Similarly, on June 22, 2022, on another recorded call, Robinson told victim 1 that Hanley had been asking Robinson if they needed to do a takeover of victim 1 at his marijuana dispensary again because victim 1 had not paid his extortion payments. Then, on July 9, 2022, Hanley told victim 1, we gotta rob someone. You with that bullshit. On July 31, 2022, Hanley told victim 1 that Hanley needed $30,000 to pay his developing options staff and was considering a robbery and increased extortions to obtain the funds. 107. Hanley was also intercepted on a telephone call telling an auto shop owner that Hanley knew how much he had paid the shop owner because the payment was proceeds of the robbery. 108. In other Title Roman 3 wiretap interceptions, I also heard Hanley planning a robbery of individuals that had stolen equipment from a celebrity rap, using an Apple AirTag that was purportedly with equipment. Hanley, Martin, and others obtained firearms and began to stage the robbery to get back the equipment. However, when they arrived, the police also arrived, having been called by the celebrity rapper. I witnessed the staging of the robbery on surveillance before it was called off. 109. On November 11, 2022, on another intercepted call, Mitchell and Hanley coordinated how Mitchell would give Hanley the proceeds from a robbery that Mitchell committed. Hanley and Mitchell were talking about how much money should go to Hanley. Then, in multiple other intercepted calls and text messages, Hanley talked with Blandon and Robinson to help Hanley collect from Mitchell's associate. Talking about Mitchell, Blandon said, they robbed a nigga for some shit. They made a nigga call his plug, and then they booked him. Talking about further splitting the proceeds, Hanley told Blandon, I may grab half of that, whatever he got them. I'm give it to Vay, and they can bring the rest of you. 21 on a subsequent call, I heard Hanley counting out the money and saying that it ain't nothing but 2 to 3 racks. Blanton responded, Brick Baby said it was supposed to be between 5 to 7. Man, gotta make that call out to Brick Man. 22. On April 11, 2023, Henley and Blanton again discussed an individual who was supposed to be robbed in the near future. F. Extortion in violation of the Hobbs Act and as racketeering activity. 110. A significant portion of the Big U Enterprise's conduct consists of various extortion schemes in Los Angeles. In addition to the check-in, the Big U Enterprise extorts both legitimate and illegitimate businesses alike, though it tends to focus on the lower-hanging fruit of the legitimate or gray market businesses. One of its extortion victims, Victim 1, was a promoter and marketer who profited from club promotions, operating in interstate commerce, and worked for illegal or quasi-legal marijuana dispensaries. As shown in the recorded conversations and controlled payments, Henley and Robinson were quite open in their threats of violence and intimidation if the victims did not pay the Big U Enterprise. As stated above, the July 5, 2021 robbery was key to their scheme of extorting Victim 1, and that once Victim 1 stopped paying extortion fees to the Big U Enterprise, they robbed him to reinstate their control. 111. At one point, Victim 1 asked in a recording what he was paying for, and Robinson explained that it was like a retainer, and that if and when Victim 1 was robbed, Victim 1 would not have to pay extra money to the Big U Enterprise for the return of his property. Of course, as discussed above, it was Big U Enterprise members and associates who were the ones who had robbed Victim 1, and they did charge Victim 1 for giving his things back. 112. The evidence supporting the Big U Enterprise's extortion activities includes consensual recordings made by Victim 1 of phone calls, meetings, and controlled extortion payments, statements describing being a victim of the extortion scheme from Victim 1, Title Roman 3 wiretap calls discussing extortions and payments, and threats made to other individuals on Title Roman 3 wiretap calls showing the modus operandi of the Big U Enterprise's extortion racket. 113. Examples of some of the extortion-related recordings obtained during this investigation include X7/9/2021, 4 days after the Big U Enterprise robbed Victim 1 as discussed above. Consensually monitored call with victim 1 in which Robinson tasked victim 1 with identifying additional robbery victims for Hanley and Robinson, where victim 1 would receive 25%, and noting that Hanley was discussing that victim 1 owed Hanley money, having only paid a portion of what victim 1 owed. X9/2/2021. Consensually recorded call in which Hanley stated that any payments that victim 1 received from another person Hanley is extorting must be paid to Hanley. 9/3/2021 consensually recorded call in which Robinson told victim 1 that Robinson needed to tell Hanley something about the amount of money that victim 1 would be paying to Hanley, and victim 1 said he could pay $500 or $1,000. 9/15/2021 consensually recorded call in which Robinson asked victim 1 what he has for Hanley, and Robinson discussed how much victim 1 can pay but ultimately promised to cover for victim 1 and allow him to pay the following day rather than face Hanley's anger. /20/2021 consensually recorded call in which Hanley and victim 1 discussed how much money would go from an event to Hanley. The roll in 60 seconds. Robinson and victim 1. Hanley stated that he wanted his money. Later in the day, victim 1 and Robinson discussed how victim 1 was being taxed by Robinson and Hanley. /23/2021 consensually monitored call in which Hanley discussed how another extortion victim was not paying Hanley what he was owed because D.C. was conducting business in Los Angeles. /19/2021 consensually recorded call in which Hanley stated that he was taking over the account and that he would be taking every fifth table that is sold at D.C.'s club. 10/22/2021 consensually recorded call in which Hanley asked victim 1 why he was on the phone with him when he was coming to pick up his money right now. They then discussed how much would be paid electronically and how much in cash. Later that day, Robinson provided victim 1 with the number to pay in associate tubs for Hanley. 11/10/2021 consensually recorded call in which Hanley told victim 1 to get a cannabis shop up and running for him to pay some rent. 11/29/2021 consensually recorded call in which Robinson told victim 1 to give Hanley a weekly salary of $1,000. Robinson further advised that victim 1 gets in trouble when promising larger amounts. Robinson also asked victim 1 where D.C. lived because he and Hanley were trying to fuck D.C. Based on his non-payment referenced above. All the FBI provided $500 in cash for the meeting, and victim 1 paid that money to Hanley. 12/11/2021 consensually recorded call in which Robinson asked how much money victim 1 had for Hanley and that, well, I think he's gonna want at least $1,000. 12/17/2021 consensually recorded call in which Robinson asked victim 1 how much he will have percent. They discussed both cash and electronic payments. The following day, they continued a similar discussion regarding $1,000 to $2,000 in payments. /20/2022 consensually recorded call in which Robinson arranged a meeting that was also recorded. The FBI provided $1,000 in cash that victim 1 paid to Robinson for Hanley. In the discussion, victim 1 discussed how Hanley took the entire $30,000 from Deja Vu, which is discussed further below in connection with Hanley, Robinson, and Martin extorting $30,000 on December 2, 2021. Robinson explained to victim 1 that he has taken way more than that and discussed Hanley's spending after receiving payments. /17/202 consensually recorded call in which victim requested an extension from Robinson regarding a payment. Robinson told victim 1 that he had been holding Hanley off and that Hanley had been asking for victim 1's payment. All the FBI provided $1,000 in cash that victim 1 paid to Robinson on camera for Hanley. 2/19/202 consensually recorded call in which Hanley called victim 1 and said, bring me. I need $1,500 real quick. Victim 1 told Hanley that he had just paid Robinson $1,000 2 days prior. 4/3/2022 consensually recorded call in which Robinson told victim 1 that Hanley was increasing victim 1's taxes to $3,500. 4/9/2022 consensually recorded call in which Robinson told victim 1 that other individuals were paying the Big U Enterprise $2,500 to $3,000 so that Hanley could purchase a $30,000 necklace for his wife's birthday. 4/10/2022 consensually recorded call in which Robinson told victim 1 that Hanley wanted to collect $2,000 from victim 1 every Monday. 4/16/2022 consensually recorded call in which Hanley told victim 1 that he needed a donation for his wife's birthday. Victim One told Henley he had already paid Robinson, and Henley responded that his math was wrong. /5/2022 consensually recorded call in which Robinson and Henley demanded that victim one stop doing business with the Big U Enterprises rival Whack 100 because he was a rat percent. /22/2022 Robinson told victim one that Henley had been asking for money from victim one and that Henley asked if they needed to do a takeover of victim one, as they had with the previous armed robbery of victim one's marijuana dispensary. 7/4/2022 consensually recorded call in which Robinson told victim one that Henley was angry and needed $2,000 from victim one. 7/21/2022 consensually recorded call in which Henley demanded money from victim one. Henley told victim one that he needed the money for taxes and EDT. 7/31/2022 consensually recorded call in which Henley told victim one that he needed $30,000 in the next couple weeks to pay his developing options staff and was considering a robbery and increased extortion payments to obtain the funds. Henley specifically said he did not care if they had to rob Peter to pay Paul. They needed to get Dad. Victim one then paid Henley $1,500 on camera. Henley said we bumped the weekly down to $1,500. X8/4/2022 consensually recorded call in which Robinson told victim one that he needs to pay. X8/9/2022 victim one paid Robinson $1,500 from the FBI on camera. Robinson and victim one discussed the history of payments victim one had made to Henley and that Robinson, according to Robinson, did all the work. Henley then arrived at the location. X9/7/2022 consensually recorded call in which Robinson told victim one he needed money, followed by Robinson consulting on victim one's anxiety and fear of Henley, how victim one can get more time to make a payment, and how to calm down Henley by paying a portion of what he is owed. X9/15/2022 consensually recorded call in which Robinson asked what time victim one would meet for money. Victim one then paid Robinson $2,000 of FBI provided funds on camera. During the conversation, victim one asked what he was paying for. Robinson said, if anyone come rob you, you ain't gotta pay extra money to get your shit back. Robinson described it as a street shield. In the same meeting, Robinson told victim one that Henley was the buffer and that Henley was the only OG still actively killing people. X9/21/2022 consensually recorded call in which Robinson asked victim one for his location so they could get the payment out of the way. Victim one then paid Robinson $1,000 on camera. X9/28/2022 consensually recorded call in which Robinson arranged to meet victim one for payment. Victim one then paid Robinson $2,020 on camera. X10/2/2022 consensually recorded call in which Robinson told victim one that if he was not in the middle of victim one and Henley, it would be very, very bad. Robinson also stated that there are two people that owe the Big U Enterprise $200,000 and Robinson had yet to threaten them. X10/5/2022 consensually recorded call in which Robinson wanted to pick up payment for Henley. Victim one then paid Robinson $2,000 of FBI provided money on camera. X10/21/2022 consensually recorded call in which Henley chastised victim one because someone associated with victim one stated that he was working with Henley. Henley told victim one that victim one had to pay Henley for victim one's associate using his name. Victim one told Henley that he had nothing to do with it and questioned how to get the money from him. Henley repeatedly said to tie him up if that was necessary, but that Henley would not get involved. In the same call, Henley said that if victim one paid his rent, he would let him off for the weekly tax payment. X11/3/2022 intercepted call between Henley and Robinson in which Henley said they needed to fix that motherfucker up and get our money. X11/10/2022 victim one paid Robinson $2,000 from the FBI on camera. Robinson told victim one not to answer if Henley called him because Henley was demanding $5,000 from him that day. X12/1/2022 victim one paid Robinson $2,000 on camera. $640 was victim one's own money. Robinson told victim one that Robinson was taking 25 to 50% of the payments to Henley, depending on the amount. Robinson then quoted Henley as saying that Robinson was getting soft with victim one, that Henley was going to fuck up victim one, and that Robinson was the only one saving victim one. X12/7/2022 Henley called victim one and stated that victim one owed Henley a lot of money and to bring $2,000 weekly. X2/15/2023 victim one paid Robinson $500 on camera. X3/29/223. Victim 1 paid Robinson $1,500 of the fee. It provided money on camera. Robinson said he was going to tell Henley that Victim 1 only paid him $1,000, 114. Additionally, Henley, Robinson, and Martin extorted Victim 2 at Deja Vu, an international adult entertainment club, at a location in Los Angeles, on December 2, 2021, which Robinson and Victim 1 later discussed on the consensually recorded call on January 20, 2022, discussed above, as corroborated by recordings and interviews with Victim 1, as well as public social media posts. Henley organized a birthday party at Deja Vu for himself and negotiated that he would receive roughly 33% of the bar proceeds from that night. Henley also promised that famous rappers would attend. He later then demanded the full profits from the night and threatened extreme violence if he was not paid the entire amount, 115. Specifically, on December 2, 2021, on another consensually recorded call, Henley called Victim 1 to discuss the extortion payment related to Henley's birthday party at Deja Vu. Victim 1 previously promoted Deja Vu and had initially connected Victim 2, the new promoter, with Henley about having Henley's birthday party there. Victim 2 had agreed to pay Henley $30,000 in exchange for celebrity rappers, including Cameron Gibril Thomas, aka Wiz Khalifa, and Clifford Joseph Harris Jr., aka T.I., as well as other famous guests, to accompany Henley to Deja Vu for his birthday on December 2, 2021. Deja Vu promoted the event on social media using Wiz Khalifa's image, which would bring in more customers who wanted to party with those famous celebrities. 116. The following is a transcription of a portion of the conversation between Victim 1 and Henley the day of the party. Victim 1: I was trying to get you about $20,000. Victim 1: I sold it for 30, the whole thing for 30, and I got to get all the people. Henley: $30,000, because this shit is viral, and it's all over the city. Got me into it with my wife and everybody else. And that's the number you told me. Henley: nigga, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'll tear that bitch up. There won't be a club there no more. You don't tell me if Wiz don't come, nigga. Victim 1: but it's what I sold. Henley: I wouldn't give a fuck, you knew T.I. one never coming. And T.I. said he was getting the motherfucking drop. So that's on they if he ain't get it. That's on you and they. I don't want to hear nothing. You ain't gonna use my name all over this motherfucker. And you need to bring me the money now. Victim 1: I'm getting it from Tubbs and them later on in like 2 to 3 hours. They gonna let me borrow some money. Henley: matter of fact, I'm gonna have my niece and them to come and get it. 117. Later in the call, Victim 1 and Henley discussed various business details related to booking the event at the club and the revenue Victim 2 was expected to earn from the event. Henley described his expectations for the event and said there were going to be 5,000 in this, and this motherfucker that's going to be pulling up, and if we got to tear that motherfucker up, we're going to tear it up. So be ready for that. Be ready for that. Bring me my money. 23. 118. The night of December 2, 2021, Henley, Robinson, Martin, and countless Big U Enterprise associates showed up to Deja Vu. Wiz Khalifa, T.I., and the other promised guests did not arrive as promised. Victim 1 watched as Robinson, Martin, and 3 other associates took Victim 2 into a back room and extorted $30,000 from him before returning to the main room to party. Not only had they demanded a flat payment of $30,000, but also 30% of all proceeds from the party that night was advertised as going to developing options. G. Transportation of individuals in interstate commerce with intent that the individuals engage in prostitution in violation of the Mann Act and as racketeering activity. 119. In November 2022, Henley paid a fledged $1,000 to transport 3 women from the Central District of California to Las Vegas, Nevada, to engage in prostitution and other crimes under Nevada law. 120. During the Title Roman 3 wiretap, the FBI intercepted calls and text messages between Henley and the Fletch. Those communications include a call between Henley, a Fletch, and an unidentified male when Henley talked about a Vegas trip and told the man on the phone with him that a Fletch go and make every bitch get naked right there. Bitch get naked. Give my brother some head right now and she go and make a bitch breakdown, go to work. Ain't no playing. 121. Following the intercepted communications, Lampford investigators interviewed a Fletch in June 2023 at her residence. In the interview, although she initially denied her involvement with pimping and pandering, a Fletch ultimately admitted to promoting prostitution, noting she was known for bringing the hoes. A Fletch said that she did not consider herself a pimp, but created environments for women to do actions and make money. A Fletch told Lampford she provided Henley with women as long as they were paid. That representation is corroborated by a series of intercepted calls from January 2023, when a Fledge said she was bringing 7 women to Henley, and after which, Henley talked to a Fledge and others about her being upset when they do not get paid right away. According to a Fledge, she told her women to ask before smash. 122. When investigators confronted her with an intercepted call between her and Henley on November 10, 2022, which is discussed below, a Fledge confirmed receiving a sale payment of $1,000 from Henley. She advised that the $1,000 payment was for her to close her food truck, accompany him to Las Vegas to cook food, and transport the women with her. It is corroborated by the intercepted messages and phone calls at the end of the trip. On November 18, 2022, Henley sent a Fledge a $500 payment on Zelle. 123. At the interview, Lampford investigators requested that a Fledge meet them the following day at the FBI Los Angeles field office to download the contents of her cell phone. A Fledge was advised not to speak with Henley or anyone else about the interview. 124. However, subsequent intercepted communications between Henley and others, including a Fledge, showed that after a Fledge interview, she met with Henley and other Big U Enterprise associates to discuss her interaction with law enforcement. Those calls started right after the interview, with an associate calling Henley demanding to talk to him immediately about him and Manny. On that call, Henley made sure that the caller kept the Fledge where she was at so that Henley could meet up with her about it. The next day, Henley and the Fledge talked on the phone about what happened yesterday. A Fledge asked Henley if he was okay and complained that they were just trying to paint a picture. 125. A Fledge did not meet at the FBI Los Angeles field office the day after her interview with Lampford, as she had agreed to do, and has not otherwise cooperated with law enforcement since meeting with Henley following her interview. 126. On other later intercepted calls, Henley complained to associates about Lampford meeting with the Fledge. For example, on June 29, 2023, an associate asked Henley if he received the photograph of the business card investigators left her 3 days earlier when they interviewed the caller about Henley, and told him they had asked about $95,000 she had deposited in her bank account per Henley instructions. Unprompted, Henley told her they approached a woman he was having sex with and talked to her about how Henley was trying to buy girls and be a pimp. Henley said he was stressed out and that his lawyer told him to stay off the phone. 127. The next day, on June 30, 2023, Henley told another caller that investigators had told a Fledge that she was going to be charged with sex trafficking based on a recording they had of Henley telling one of his partners that a Fledge can find girls when they want to go out of town. Henley said, "Shit, so you're going to get me and say my crime is sending girls money for sex? Is that my crime? Adult girls too. You hear me? It's not like it's some kids. Not like it's a boy. We're talking about grown-ass women. H, fraud in violation of federal wire fraud and bank fraud statutes and as racketeering activity. 1. Economic injury disaster loan program fraud. 128. Through Unique Music, Henley, on behalf of the Big U Enterprise and the entities it controls, also committed fraud intended for COVID-19 pandemic-related disasters. According to Secretary of State filings for Unique Music, Henley is its CEO. He also controlled a business checking account in the name of Unique Music Entertainment, Inc., with Bank of America. In 2020, Henley defrauded the SBA of a $90,000 loan through the Unique Music account under the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. 129. The SBA administered idle to provide low-interest financing to small businesses affected by declared disasters. In or about March 2020, passed the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, which authorized the SBA to provide idle loans of up to $2 million to eligible small businesses experiencing substantial financial disruption as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. 130. To obtain an idle loan, a qualifying small business was required to submit a loan application through the SBA's online web portal. In the idle loan application, the applicant was required to provide, among other information, the gross revenue for the 12 months preceding January 31, 2020. 131. As part of application and to be eligible to obtain the idle loan, the applicant was required to make certain certifications under penalty of perjury. The applicant was required to certify that all information in application is submitted with application true and correct to the best of knowledge and that the applicant would submit truthful information in the future. The application included a warning that any false statement or misrepresentation to the SBA result in criminal sanctions including, but not limited to, fines and imprisonment, or both. 132. On June 16, 2020, Henley electronically submitted an idle application from Los Angeles for Unique Music, which I have reviewed. in which he falsely represented that Unique Music had 2019 gross revenues of $500,000 and cost of goods sold of $300,000. The true financial records that were obtained through the course of this investigation show that these representations made by Henley on the application forms were false. 133. Based on the bank records, Unique Music was operating at an approximately $5,000 loss in 2019. Specifically, the total amount of money that came in was approximately $30,000, and the total amount of money that went out was approximately $35,000. Nevertheless, Henley claimed that Unique Music was operating at a $200,000 profit in 2019. Those fraudulent misrepresentations caused the SBA to give Unique Music a $90,000 loan and $10,000 grant. In documents produced in response to a subpoena, newly created financial documents for Unique Music also show that the claims to the SBA are false, as the documents show Unique Music operating at 57% profitability and only $15,500 in total revenue. 134. On June 24, 2020, from Los Angeles, Henley electronically signed a loan agreement between Unique Music and the SBA in which he certified that all representations in his application were true, correct, and complete. Then, on June 26, 2020, Henley accepted from the SBA a transfer of approximately $89,900 into the Unique Music account based on the fraudulent June 16, 2020 loan application and fraudulent June 24, 2020 loan agreement. On July 7, 2020, Henley accepted from the SBA a transfer of approximately $10,000 into the Unique Music account based on that fraud. 135. The electronic transmissions of the documents and wire transfers of the funds traveled between Los Angeles and other states. 2. Wire fraud through embezzlement of charitable donations. 136. The investigation in this matter has also revealed that Henley has committed wire fraud through embezzling donations to developing options. For the purpose of executing his scheme to defraud, Henley transmitted and caused the transmission of multiple checks and transfers of items by means of wire communication in interstate or foreign commerce. As discussed below, the FBI and IRS CI have traced his embezzlement of funds that were paid by victims meant as charitable donations. I have reviewed bank records for Developing Options bank account, Henley personal bank account, as well as donations and information provided by the donors to determine the following. 137. On August 20, 2019, Developing Options received a $20,000 donation from a current NBA All-Star. The wire transfer identified the donation as for charity. Donor 1 confirmed he provided charitable donations to Developing Options. 138. Henley, however, embezzled the entire $20,000 donation by transferring the funds into his personal checking account the day after Developing Options received the funds from Donor 1. 139. Donor 1 was also heard on intercepted calls asking for confirmation of the charitable contribution. B. Henley embezzled $14,000 from a donation from Donor 2 to Developing Options. 140. In early 2020, Developing Options received a $24,000 donation from Donor 2, an award-winning music publishing company. J.B., president of Donor 2, issued and signed the check, dated January 31, 2020, which cleared Developing Options bank account on February 3, 2020. Investigators interviewed Donor 2's custodian of records and CPA and received documentation for the following. 141. J.B. believed the $24,000 donation would provide football equipment for a local not-for-profit organization and deducted $24,000 as a charitable donation on his personal tax returns. Instead, Henley embezzled $14,000 of the donation by transferring the funds into his personal checking account. Henley made that transfer one day after the donation check, which Henley endorsed on behalf of Developing Options, cleared the Developing Options bank account. Donor 2 did not authorize any portion of the funds donated to Developing Options to be given to Henley personally. C. Henley embezzled $15,000 from a donation from Donor 3 to Developing Options. 142. On November 3, 2021, donation check from Donor 3, a popular online content platform. At the time, Donor 3 was helping Henley produce the Check and podcast. The purpose of the payment is support, which FBI and IRS CI agents obtained a copy of stating that Developing Options was going to use the donation to purchase $15,000 of the donation by transferring the funds into his personal checking account 1 day after the donation check cleared the Developing Options bank account. 143. I have confirmed that the donor 3 check was from a J.P. Morgan Chase bank account utilizing servers outside of California and was deposited at branch here in Los Angeles. The Bank of America branch utilized servers at Developing Options Bank of America account to his personal Bank of America account, which again utilized servers in Richardson, Texas, to servers located in Los Angeles, California. D. Henley embezzles $10,000 from a donation from donor 4 to Developing Options. 144. On March 21, 2022, Developing Options received $10,000 from donor 4 intended to support a food program paid for by Developing Options. According to the invoice from Developing Options, the meal program cost $5,000 for food from a restaurant on November 9, 2021 and November 23, 2021. Developing Options checks from its bank records show that the actual cost paid for the meal program was $3,000. Henley did not personally fund the meal program from the restaurant. Developing Options sent an invoice dated February 2, 2022 to donor 4 for $5,000 related to the meal program and $5,000 for administrative and office. On March 21, 2022, Developing Options received a $10,000 payment from donor 4. On March 28, 2022, Henley transferred $10,000 to his bank account. The payment from donor 4 was meant as a charitable donation and was not intended to be given to Henley personally. 145. The FBI and CI confirmed that donor 4's check was deposited into the Developing Options account in a Los Angeles branch. The Bank of America branch utilized servers in Richardson, Texas. A week later, Henley transferred the money from the Developing Options Bank of America account to his personal Bank of America account, which again utilized servers in Richardson, Texas, to servers located in Los Angeles, California. Henley embezzles $19,000 from a donation from donor 5 to Developing Options. 146. On September 21, 2022, Developing Options received a $20,000 check from former NBA MVP intended to support Developing Options and the Crenshaw Rams. On September 26 and 30, 2022, and October 7 and 11, 2022, Henley transferred various amounts totaling $15,000 to his bank account. The payment from donor 5 was intended as a charitable donation and was not intended to be given to Henley. 147. The FBI and CI have confirmed that the donor 5 check was deposited into the Developing Options account in the Los Angeles branch. The J.P. Morgan Chase branch utilized servers outside of California. The further transfers again utilized J.P. Morgan Chase servers outside California. F. Henley embezzles $36,400 from a donation from donor 6 to Developing Options. 148. On November 8, 2022, Developing Options received a $100,000 wire donation from donor 6, a production company. The purpose of the payment was a donation to support the Crenshaw Rams youth football team by covering the cost of one student athlete in the Crenshaw youth football and cheer organization. Instead, Henley embezzled $36,400 of the donation by transferring the funds into his personal checking account in multiple transfers from November 10, 2022 through December 1, 2022. The donation was taken as a charitable donation on DT's personal tax return. 149. The FBI and CI have confirmed that the donor 6 wire transfer was routed using Fedwire service funds, which utilizes servers in New Jersey or Texas, to the Developing Options bank account, which utilized servers outside of California. For the days after, including on November 15, 2022, Henley moved the funds from Developing Options J.P. Morgan Chase account to his personal J.P. Morgan Chase account, again utilizing servers outside of California. Henley embezzles $32,500 from a donation from donor 7 to Developing Options. 150. On December 13, 2022, Developing Options received $50,000 from a foundation as a donation to pay the direct program costs and expenses of operating Developing Options social justice programs and initiatives. Instead, between December 19, 2022 and January 3, 2023, Henley transferred $32,500 to his bank account in various denominations. Pursuant to the grant award letter from donor 7, all grant funds were intended to be used to support Developing Options social justice programs and initiatives. For the 2023 program budget provided to donor 7, a portion of the grant funds were allocated for employee salaries, which may have included salary paid to Henley for his work on behalf of the organization. However, no grant funds were meant to be given from Donor 7 to Henley personally. 151. The FBI and IRS CI have confirmed that the Donor 7 check was deposited into the Developing Options account in a Los Angeles branch, which caused an electric wire from Donor 7's PNC Bank account outside of California and the J.P. Morgan Chase servers outside of California. For the days after, including on December 19, 2022, Henley moved the funds from the Developing Options J.P. Morgan Chase account to his personal J.P. Morgan Chase account, again utilizing servers outside of California. 3. Bank fraud. 152. In December 2022, Landon was purportedly working for Developing Options and drawing a salary from Developing Options. He was then denied a residential mortgage loan because he could not verify a sufficient amount of income to qualify. I have reviewed the financial records showing the denial. 153. Landon then began working with Hines, a licensed loan officer in the Central District of California. On intercepted calls, Hines advised Blandon that his salary would need to increase for him to qualify for a loan. Blandon told Hines that he worked for Developing Options and that his aunt was his employer. Hines then spoke with both Henley and Martin as the CEO and CFO of Developing Options, respectively, on further intercepted calls about fraudulently inflating Blandon's salary temporarily to support his loan application. 154. On January 13, 2023, Henley and Martin did so by purporting to pay Blandon $6,500 in non-employee compensation, which comes with its own tax form for verification. However, as shown in the calls, Blandon actually paid Henley back the $6,500, so it was not true compensation, just made to look that way to the mortgage lender to artificially inflate Blandon claim income so that he could qualify for the loan. Blandon never received non-employee compensation any other time. 155. On January 16, 2023, Blandon electronically submitted his loan application, which I have reviewed. In the application, he reported that he worked for DO Security, making $8,166.67 per month. As mentioned, on January 4, 2023, on an intercepted call between Henley, Blandon, and Hines, Hines said that Blandon needed to show income of $8,166 per month to qualify for the loan, which Henley said he could facilitate through Henley's security company. In the loan application, Blandon only listed that income and did not list any income for the ex-offender Fellowship Network employer that he also included in his application. Based on the payroll records from Developing Options and its related entities, I know that Blandon was making roughly $2,841.06 net pay per month. 156. After law enforcement played recordings of the intercepted calls for Hines, she admitted that she advised Henley and Martin on how much additional income Blandon required to get approved for a loan, but she denied advising them to temporarily increase Blandon income until the loan application was approved. Despite the recording to the contrary, Henley Tax Crimes, 157. With IRS I have obtained tax records related to Henley, who had filed forms 1040 from at least 2017 through 2019. Henley was issued forms W-2 for wages earned from his employment as the CEO of Developing Options, which he reported on his form 1040 in 2019. Henley failed to file forms 1040 in 2020 and 2021. Henley knew he had a duty to file forms 1040 as he had done so consecutively for 3 years prior to 2020. Despite knowing he was required to file forms 1040 as he had done previously, Henley willfully failed to file such forms for years 2020 and 2021. 158. Henley received compensation from Lightbox Entertainment for his work on the docuseries Hip Hop Uncovered, which was released in 2021, as well as other projects. He also received forms 1099 reflecting income he had earned in 2019, 2020, and 2021. Henley did not report or pay taxes on approximately $80,435.20, which was reflected on the form 1099 he received from Lightbox Entertainment in 2019. Henley also did not file tax returns or pay taxes on the income he earned from the docuseries in 2020 and 2021. In 2020 and 2021, Henley received forms 1099 from Lightbox Entertainment in the amounts of $45,148 and $69,564.57, respectively. 159. Henley had been the CEO, president, and executive director of Developing Options since approximately 2010. Developing Options is a not-for-profit organization that was heavily funded by the City of Los Angeles GRID program. Henley signed contracts with the City of Los Angeles to receive GRID funding each fiscal year. The Developing Options bank account received funds that were not from the City of Los Angeles, totaling approximately $153,000 in 2019. Of the approximately $153,000 that was given to Developing Options outside of payments from GRID, Henley embezzled approximately $65,810 from the Developing Options account through bank transfers to his own personal account. These embezzled funds are not included on Henley Form 1040 for 2019. Henley also embezzled approximately $14,000 in 2020 and $25,000 in 2021 from Developing Options in the same manner. Henley did not file or pay income taxes on these embezzled funds that were transferred to Henley personal bank accounts and used for his own personal benefit. J. Other criminal activities showing how the Big U enterprise operates. 160. In addition to the murder of R.W., robbery, extortion, interstate transportation for prostitution, wire fraud, and bank fraud offenses described herein, the investigation has revealed additional evidence of other activity that demonstrates that the Big U enterprise constitutes an enterprise under 18 U.S.C. Section 1961, and that the Big U enterprise threatens and commits violent acts that allow it to operate. For example, intercepted calls include discussions of the Big U enterprise, its association with the rolling 60 seconds, and issues with the Big U enterprise members or associates, including rolling 60 seconds members, perceived as not behaving properly under the dictates of the Big U enterprise. Additionally, the calls demonstrate the hierarchy of the Big U enterprise, with both Henley's own words showing his leadership and other Big U enterprise members discussing Henley and his leadership of the Big U enterprise. The calls also show Henley's commitment to demanding respect and exacting violence if it is not received, much like with the murder of R.W. Further, the following criminal activity informs the fraudulent misrepresentations about the Big U enterprise's entities like Developing Options and Unique Music's reformation in contracts, such as pandemic relief loans, which specifically includes an assertion that the applicant is not involved in illegal activity and federal funding through GRID. 1. Henley coerces a witness to recant statements to law enforcement implicating a Big U enterprise associate. 161. On December 9, 2022, W.M., a former professional football player in the NFL and one of Henley's associates, beat a victim over the head with a bottle at a restaurant in Los Angeles. The assault was captured on video and publicized online. 162. In an intercepted call on December 23, 2022, Henley called the assault victim's relative and instructed him to go to the lineup, tell him to pick the wrong person. Then, on January 2, 2023, on a multi-way telephone call that was also intercepted, Henley said, "The young nigga going to say he stole his watch out the bathroom and came to get his watch back and it turned into something else. He's going to apologize for stealing his watch. You know what I'm saying? He thought it was somebody. He thought it was his watch. Came back to get his watch, and it turned into a scuffle. They were only trying to prevent a crime. Case dismissed." 163. On January 7, 2023, on another intercepted call, Henley called J.S. again and told him that the victim needed to take the blame for the incident to avoid criminal charges for the former NFL player. Later that day, the FBI surveilled Henley as he and J.S. met with the victim's father. 164. Then, on January 9, 2023, while on an intercepted call with J.S., Henley told J.S. to get the criminal case off them. Henley did not want the fact that the victim was not pressing charges to be attributable to Henley and J.S. 165. On another intercepted call on January 9, 2023, Henley told his son that Henley met the man who was suing the former NFL player. The next day, J.S. called Henley, told him he talked to his lawyer, and said that Henley did not have anything to worry about. 2. Henley makes various threats and brags about violence to further the Big U enterprise's reputation for fear and violence, solidifying its power to extort victims. 166. There were a number of calls intercepted during the course of the investigation in which Henley bragged about violence that I believe show the Big U enterprise's continued intention to intimidate and control members of the community through fear and violence. These include boasts to a victim, but also general recounting of violence, threats, or violent acts that are in line with the Big U enterprise's modus operandi. X11/2022. In multiple calls, Henley recounted sending someone to Minnesota to collect several $100,000 from a current NBA All-Star. This debt is purportedly collected on behalf of someone who Henley refers to as U-Boy. X11/2022. 11/7/2022 and trying to intimidate a car shop owner into agreeing that Henley had paid the full amount he owed. Henley recounted that he had obviously paid the entire amount because he had just done a robbery and gave all the proceeds to the car shop owner. He then told Morton to get the owner on the phone and that Henley would kill the shop owner. X11/15/2022. In talking to a former NFL Pro Bowler, Henley stated that he was going to beat the shit out of witness 2 for starting shit between Henley and WAC 100. X11/22/2022. Speaking to someone in jail, Henley said he always had 2 blowers on him. 25. X11/22/2022. Speaking to the same person, Henley stated he was going to charge someone in federal prison $6,000 for a phone. X11/23/2022. Henley stated he would pay people $50 each to beat someone up. X11/23/2022. Henley recounted paying people to mess up a store that refused to give him a discount. X12/27/2022. Henley told someone that they needed to hang OG Crip Cuz and that he needed to be disciplined thoroughly for a violation of Crippin. X12/30/2022. Henley again stated he needed to break WAC 100's jaw. X12/31/2022. Henley recounted being bigger than any Rollin' 60 Seconds member, including Nipsey Hussle. X12/31/2022. Henley stated that if he had an issue with anyone, they would no longer be alive. X1/2/2023. Henley coached D.S. on how to portray himself to the media, including telling him to wear glasses and to claim D.S. worked for developing options, even though he did not. X1/2/2023. Henley told D.S. he needed to at least break witness 2's jaw. X1/3/223. Henley described tooling up with a firearm even when he goes to Crip neighborhoods. X1/3/223. Henley told someone in prison he was buying 6 phones that could be smuggled and then sold for $1,000 apiece. X1/5/2022. Henley told someone that another person was a rat and done. X1/12/2023. Henley again described needing to beat the shit out of WAC 100. X1/17/2023. Henley described threatening to kill Grape Street Crips. X1/17/2023. Henley described being the hunter of the Rollin' 60 Seconds and having paperwork 26 on individuals. X2/7/2023. Henley told Robinson he was going to break victim 1's jaw. X2/13/2023. Henley stated he was going to break the jaw of a business manager who worked for a former NBA MVP. X3/3/223. Henley described the modus operandi of the Big U enterprise, which included robbing individuals but not taking everything from them so that they could continue to work, be robbed, identify other robbery targets, and buy their stolen things back from the Big U enterprise. X4/1/2023. Henley asked someone to grab a firearm for him that he left under the tire of a car. X4/11/2023. Henley discussed with Blanton an individual who was going to be robbed in the near future. X4/17/2023. Henley discussed sending a message to a dispensary owner that he fucked with the wrong guy. X2/410/2023. Henley recounted slapping Jew boy. X2/410/2023. Robinson told Henley that Robinson told Jew boy that he owed them money, that they would allow a payment plan, but if he did not pay, they were going to shut this motherfucker down. X4/1/2023. Henley asked someone to grab Henley blower, which he left on the ground in a blue sweatshirt in front of a tire. 3. Henley and Robinson describe other threats and violent acts of the Big U enterprise. 167. Throughout the Big U enterprise's extortion of victim, members of the Big U enterprise discuss violence and illegal activities to victim 1 in order to intimidate victim 1 and ensure that victim 1 kept paying extortion fees to the Big U enterprise. Examples include X6/22/2022. Robinson told victim 1 that it was necessary to have a firearm when hanging out with Henley. X7/9/2022. Henley recounted to victim 1 an incident in which Henley and Rollin' 60 Seconds gang members chased down WAC 100 attempting to hurt him. There's 15 to 20 niggas with us, with hoodies tied down. I got my hoodie on all black, tied down. She like, boom, she jumped in the car, paid for it, and then took off. Boom. This nigga screaming, my wife, draws. I see you, Eugene. I see you, Eugene Henley. I see you. He's screaming all that. He's got his blower out, but he's fucked up because nobody's around. We're like, bitch ass nigga. I'm like, yeah, bitch ass nigga. He like, die here, man. Don't do this. My wife, my kids in that car. Draws. Don't do this. He's screaming. X10/22/2022. Robinson told victim 1 that Henley could not be patted down at club because he would be armed. Roman 8. Identification of the property and premises to be searched and probable cause that evidence of the various subject offenses will be found in that property and at those premises. 168. Open source records that I reviewed on March 13, 2025. List Henley's 62 Indy Street residence, Henley's Arlington premises, and Robinson's premises for Henley and Robinson, respectively, as well as Henley's Mercedes as registered to Henley. Further, according to records obtained during the course of the investigation, Developing Options premises is the organization's registered address. 169. Throughout the course of the investigation, FBI essays and task force officers, including myself, have witnessed Henley driving Henley's Mercedes. The FBI has also obtained financial documents showing that Henley purchased Henley's Mercedes, and the vehicle is registered in Henley's name, as discussed above. FBI essays and victim 1 also observed Robinson driving Henley Mercedes during a period in which Henley was conspicuously attempting to evade law enforcement after detectives had spoken with Henley's wife at Henley's 62 Indy Street premises. In June 2023, the FBI and other law enforcement officers conducted a traffic stop and served a DNA warrant on Henley, who was driving Henley's Mercedes at the time. 170. Throughout the course of the investigation, FBI essays and task force officers, including myself, have seen Henley coming and going from Henley's 62 Indy Street premises on a consistent basis, indicative of him residing there. The aforementioned traffic stop of Henley while he was driving Henley's Mercedes occurred outside of Henley's 62 Indy Street premises as Henley was returning home. The Title Roman 3-wire interceptions of Henley telephones included GPS data that showed Henley residing at Henley's 62 Indy Street premises during the months-long interception period. In December 2024, Henley appeared on the local news claiming that $40,000 worth of toys were stolen from outside of Henley's 62 Indy Street residence. On January 28, 2025, FBI saw served a subpoena at Henley's 62 Indy Street premises, and Henley's wife accepted service there. Additionally, based on cell site location information that the FBI and LAPD began receiving on March 14, 2025, pursuant to a state search warrant, I know that Henley phones both were at Henley's 62 Indy Street residence overnight, indicating that he slept there. FBI SA Desmond Beverly further observed Henley's Mercedes at Henley's 62 Indy Street residence on March 14, 2025. Finally, over the last night, from March 16, 2025 to March 17, 2025, cell site location information placed Henley phones at Henley's 62 Indy Street residence throughout the night. 171. Throughout the course of the investigation and during the Title Roman 3 wiretap intercepts, Henley discussed his ownership of Henley's Arlington premises, including making various trips to Henley's Arlington premises. These discussions included sending others to Henley's Arlington premises to pick up things for him, including his toy. 27. Henley also set up an extortion payment to be paid by victim 1 at Henley's Arlington premises, which was completed on camera. Victim 1 was also called to Henley's Arlington premises to collect items that the Big U enterprise robbed from the marijuana dispensary discussed above. At times, Henley has previously rented Henley's Arlington premises to tenants and directed others collect rent from tenants at Henley's Arlington premises. I ran an LA Clear public information search on March 13, 2025, and no other individuals are listed as currently residing at Henley's Arlington premises. Based on my training and experience and my knowledge of this investigation, I believe that Henley and the Big U enterprise use Henley's Arlington premises as a location, separate and apart from Henley primary residence, in which to conduct illegal activity to avoid detection by law enforcement. 172. Throughout the investigation and during the Title Roman 3 wiretap interceptions, Robinson slept at Robinson's premises nearly every night and otherwise came and went from Robinson's premises, indicating that the location is his domicile. FBI essays and task force officers have conducted extensive surveillance during the course of the investigation and have witnessed Robinson at Robinson's premises, Robinson car parked at Robinson's premises, and have heard on recordings Robinson discussing his desire to stay at Robinson's premises to stay out of Los Angeles. Robinson's cell site location information that the FBI and LAPD obtained pursuant to a state search warrant on March 14, 2025, showed that his phone was at Robinson's premises overnight that night. On March 15, 2025, at approximately 10 p.m., FBI saw Matthew Hutchison observed Robinson return to Robinson's premises. Cell site location data placed Robinson's phone at Robinson's premises after he returned. Finally, over the last night, from March 16, 2025 to March 17, 2025, cell site locating information phone at Robinson's premises throughout the night. 173. Throughout the investigation, FBI saw and task force officers observed Morton at Morton's premises, consistent with it being Morton's primary domicile. Despite that, open source records and financial records listed another address for Morton. Title Roman 3 wiretap interceptions also show GPS data consistent with Morton living at the location and spending most of his nights there. Additionally, open source records list Morton's son as residing as Morton's premises. On March 14, 2025, the FBI and LAPD began receiving cell site location information on one of Morton's phone numbers, pursuant to a state search warrant. That evening, Morton's cell site location information placed his number at Morton's premises consistent with him sleeping there. On March 15, 2025, I personally conducted surveillance on Morton's premises and observed Morton exit the complex containing Morton's premises. Finally, over the last night, from March 16, 2025 to March 17, 2025, cell site location information placed Morton's phone at Morton's premises throughout the night. 174. Accordingly, although the FBI has identified other addresses appearing to be associated with Robinson and Morton, I believe, based on the investigation to date, that Robinson's premises and Morton's premises are the primary residences for Robinson and Morton, respectively, and that evidence of Robinson and Morton subject offenses will be found at Robinson's premises and Morton's premises. 175. During the course of this investigation, Inc. and other records for developing options have listed an address different from developing options premises. However, there is more recent probable cause that developing options premises is developing options current address. On March 12, 2025, the FBI observed that developing options is listed in the building directory of the building that houses developing options premises. FBI SA Naomi Carter informed me that when she served a subpoena on another entity located in another suite in the same building, she observed signage for developing options and its D/B/Accreditation Rams at developing options premises. Additionally, developing options premises is elsewhere listed as the registered address for developing options, including on Google and job finding websites such as Salary.com and the GuideStar organization. The developing options website lists the contact and address for the organization simply as Crenshaw. Roman 9, summary of probable cause that developing options is permeated by fraud and that relevant evidence will be found at developing options premises. 176. Based on the totality of evidence obtained during the course of this investigation, I believe there is probable cause that developing options is an entity permeated by fraud and evidence of its use as an instrumentality for financial and other crimes committed by the Big U enterprise and its members and associates will be found at developing options premises. 8. As discussed above, the Hanley and the Big U enterprise solicit funding and donations to developing options under the guise of purported charity work. Developing options conducts as a nonprofit entity. As discussed herein, however, the Big U enterprise uses developing options for its fraudulent means, including embezzling donations in a Henley personal bank account and fabricating Blandon's salary to apply for a mortgage. B. In addition to Henley embezzling money out of developing options bank account into his personal bank account, as described above, I believe that Henley also instructed his wife to use developing options credit card for Henley and his family's own personal use and benefit. On March 27, 2023, on intercepted calls between Henley, his wife, and an individual with the initials AM, Henley instructed his wife to use developing options credit card to purchase air conditioning units for Henley's Arlington premises. Henley said that he was going to order the units and cancel the order afterward. Henley asked his wife if the card had $8,000 to $9,000 to use, which she said it did. On March 28, 2023, on another intercepted call, Henley's wife said that she just got back from Lowe's, and Henley told her that they were going to cancel the units after they arrived, telling her to have the contractor go to Lowe's and pick them up. 177. Based on my training and experience and knowledge of this investigation, I believe the above factors collectively indicate that Henley and the Big U enterprise utilized developing options as an instrumentality of racketeering and financial crimes, and in furtherance the objects of the Big U enterprise. 178. Accordingly, I believe that there is probable cause to believe that evidence of developing options subject offenses will be found at developing options premises. 179. Based on my training and experience, as well as my familiarity with investigations conducted by other law enforcement officers into racketeering enterprises, including those engaged in violence, extortion, murder, money laundering, illegal gambling, fraud, financial crimes, and other racketeering activity conducted by criminal enterprises, I know the following. A. Racketeering activity involves numerous co-conspirators, often organized into a hierarchical structure and operating in a defined territory. Criminal enterprises may operate illegal casinos, sell narcotics, extort others involved in legitimate and illegitimate businesses, launder the proceeds of their illicit activities, commit acts of violence, and engage in other criminal conduct. Criminal enterprise members will often take and share photographs and videos of their illicit activities using their digital devices. B. Criminal enterprise members often maintain books, receipts, notes, ledgers, and records, and other records relating to their racketeering activity. Such records are often maintained where the criminal enterprise member has ready access to them, such as in their homes, their places of business, in their vehicles, on their persons, and in their cell phones and other digital devices. Additionally, I know that individuals engaged in racketeering enterprises often keep such evidence for long periods of time, including in storage on their digital devices that they keep in close proximity for extended periods of time, including in their homes, their places of business, and on their persons. See, communications between co-conspirators, as well as from victims of racketeering activity, often take place by telephone calls and messages, such as email, text messages, the exchange of photographs and videos, and social media messaging applications sent to and from cell phones and other digital devices. D. Criminal enterprise members often keep the names, addresses, and telephone numbers of those involved in their racketeering activity on their digital devices. Criminal enterprise members often keep records of meetings with associates on their digital devices, including in the form of notes, calendar entries, and location data. Criminal enterprise members often possess firearms to protect and advance their racketeering activity. Criminal enterprise members often keep information regarding their firearms on their digital devices, including contacts that can provide firearms and photographs of firearms they possess and use. Training and experience on robbery and extortion offenses. 180. From my training, personal experience, and the collective experiences related to me by other law enforcement officers who conduct robbery and extortion investigations, I'm aware of the following. A. Persons who engage, participate, or are otherwise involved in robberies or extortions generally maintain records of their stolen or extorted items and money and usually keep them in their residence or in places that are readily accessible and under their physical control, such as in their places of business or their vehicles or digital devices, including cloud storage accounts within those devices, particularly in robbery or extortion conspiracies involving multiple robberies, extortions, or co-conspirators. Those records are often maintained for long periods of time. B. People who participate in robberies or extortions will keep the contact information of co-conspirators or other individuals involved in criminal activities for future use. Such information is also kept on digital devices and in cloud storage. C. Individuals involved in robberies or extortions frequently use their cell phones to coordinate with co-conspirators and to research robbery or extortion victims. Cell phone, for example, may be used to set meeting locations, pick routes to the robberies or extortions, coordinate times, and recruit crew members. D. Many people also keep mementos from their robberies or extortions, including digital photographs or recordings of themselves possessing items or cash from the robbery or extortion victim. These photographs and recordings are often shared via social media, text messages, and other applications. E. Those who commit robberies or extortions often sell the stolen items or keep them in their possession. Those who steal or extort cash may launder that money shortly after or make losses after the robbery or extortion. Correspondence between persons buying and selling stolen items, laundering money, or making large purchases often occurs over phone calls, email, text message, and social media message to and from smartphones, laptops, or other digital devices. That includes sending photographs of the stolen items between the seller and the buyer, as well as negotiation of prices. In addition, it is common for individuals who engage in robberies or extortions to have photographs of the stolen items, large amounts of cash, or new purchases that they or other individuals working with them possess on their cell phones and other digital devices, as they frequently send these photographs to each other to boast of their proceeds. To facilitate sales or transfers of the stolen items or cash, or otherwise discuss the proceeds of the robberies or extortions. F. Individuals engaged in robberies or extortions often use multiple digital devices, including digital devices belonging to friends or associates, to minimize the chance of being traced. Additionally, multiple digital devices are often used for communicating with lookout vehicles and other co-conspirators committing robberies and extortion. G. Furthermore, even if a person deleted any digital evidence of robberies and extortion or any other criminal activities, there is still probable cause to believe that there will be evidence of robberies and extortion in the digital devices and in cloud storage. Based on my training and experience, as well as my conversations with digital forensic experts, I know that remnants of such digital evidence can be recovered months or years after they have been deleted from a digital device. For example, even if text messages between co-conspirators surrounding the robbery or extortion are deleted, evidence that they were communicating at the relevant times and in the relevant locations may be recovered using forensic tools. Roman 12, training and experience on homicide offenses. 181, based on my training and experience, and the training and experience of other agents with greater involvement in murder investigations, I know the following. A. Individuals who commit homicides or seek the assistance of others in committing homicides or concealing the evidence of homicides often maintain materials about their intended victims in their residences or places of business, in their vehicles, on their persons, and on their digital devices, and often for long periods of time. This information could include information about or photographs of their intended victims, their home addresses, information about places they frequent, or the motive behind such intended homicide. It could also include information about the victim's family members, communication with or from the victim's friends or family, or other information that could be used to carry out or conceal the murder. B. It is also common for individuals who have committed a homicide or attempted to do so to search social media or the internet using their digital devices to determine what investigators, news sources, or social media users know and or are disseminating about the facts of the murder. Individuals who commit homicides will often do so in an attempt to determine what potential evidence may be used against them, to determine whether or not they are suspected of committing the murder, and if and how the suspect can formulate a plausible alibi or explanation for their involvement with the victim. Roman 13, training and experience on human trafficking offenses. 182, from my training, personal experience, and the collective experiences shared with me by other law enforcement officers who conduct human trafficking investigations, I'm aware of the following. A. Individuals involved in human trafficking frequently use their cell phones to coordinate with co-conspirators, customers, and victims. For example, cell phones are used to set meeting locations, coordinate meeting times, arrange travel, negotiate payments, and recruit co-conspirators, customers, and victims. B. Individuals involved in human trafficking generally maintain records over time of their communications with co-conspirators, customers, and victims, as well as payments, in their digital devices, including their cloud storage accounts through previous backups, even if the communications are not preserved on the physical device. People who participate in human trafficking will keep the contact information of co-conspirators, customers, and victims for future use regardless of the passage of time from the last communication. Such information is kept on digital devices and in cloud storage. C. Many human traffickers also keep visual depictions of their victims, including digital photographs or recordings of their victims to share with customers and potential customers. These photographs and recordings are often shared via social media, text messages, and over other messaging applications. Roman 14, training and experience on financial crimes. 183. Through the course of this investigation, my communications with financial analysts and IRS CISAs, and my training and experience as an FBI SA generally, I know the following. A. Business owners, including the owners of purported not-for-profit 501 entities, typically maintain business records at their business locations, as well as in their residences and in their digital devices. It is common practice for businesses to maintain records of income, expenses, losses, asset acquisition and disposition, and other business-related documents in digital and hard copy forms. These records would include employee records, journals, ledgers, bank statements, canceled checks, deposit slips, income and information tax returns, grant receipts and expenditures, not-for-profit certification records, records relating to compliance with any grant programs, and other records showing the receipt and disposition of funds. The nonprofit entities and other businesses that have employees typically maintain detailed records of their payroll for proper reporting purposes, including end-of-the-year forms W-2 that are issued to employees, as well as expenses, particularly if they participate in grant contracts based solely on reimbursement. These records can be voluminous and are often stored in the office. C. Records of employee payroll maintained by staffing agencies frequently include pay stubs, bank statements, canceled checks, deposit slips, and other records showing the receipt and disposition of funds. Original business records, as well as tax records, are frequently kept and maintained for extended periods of time, often several years. D. Nonprofit entities also maintain records of expenditures that can be submitted for reimbursement in alignment with any grant programs, such as the Grid Foundation, and similarly maintain detailed records of their expenditures. These records can be voluminous and are often stored in the office. Roman 15. Training and experience on digital device S28, 184. Based on my training, experience, and information from those involved in the forensic examination of digital devices, I know that the following electronic evidence, inter alia, is often retrievable from digital devices. A. Forensic methods may uncover electronic files or remnants of such files months or even years after the files have been downloaded, deleted, or viewed via the internet. Normally, when a person deletes a file on a computer, the data contained in the file does not disappear. Rather, the data remain on the hard drive until overwritten by new data, which may only occur after a long period of time. Similarly, files viewed on the internet are often automatically downloaded into a temporary directory or cache that are only overwritten as they are replaced with more recently downloaded or viewed content and may also be recoverable months or years later. B. Digital devices often contain electronic evidence related to a crime, the device's user, or the existence of evidence in other locations, such as how the device has been used, what it has been used for, who has used it, and who has been responsible for creating or maintaining records, documents, programs, applications, and materials on the device. That evidence is often stored in logs and other artifacts that are not kept in places where the user stores files, and in places where the user may be unaware of them. For example, recoverable data can include evidence of deleted or edited files, recently used tasks and processes, online nicknames and passwords in the form of configuration data stored by browser, email, and chat programs, attachment of other devices, times the device was in use, and file creation dates and sequence. C. The absence of data on a digital device may be evidence of how the device was used, what it was used for, and who used it. For example, showing the absence of certain software on a device may be necessary to rebut a claim that the device was being controlled remotely by such software. D. Digital device users can also attempt to conceal data by using encryption, steganography, or by using misleading file names and extensions. Digital devices may also contain booby traps that destroy or alter data if certain procedures are not followed. Law enforcement can use methods of decryption, even for devices or data that cannot currently be decrypted. 185. Based on my training, experience, and information from those involved in the forensic examination of digital devices, I know that it is not always possible to search devices for data. During the search of the premises for a number of reasons, including the following. A. Digital data are particularly vulnerable to inadvertent or intentional modification or destruction. Thus, often a controlled environment with specially trained personnel may be necessary to maintain the integrity of and to conduct a complete and accurate analysis of data on digital devices, which may take substantial time, particularly as to the categories of electronic evidence referenced above. Also, there are now so many types of digital devices and programs that it is difficult to bring to a search site all of the specialized manuals, equipment, and personnel that may be required. B. Digital devices capable of storing multiple gigabytes are now commonplace. As an example of the amount of data this equates to, 1 gigabyte can store close to 19,000 average file size Word documents, or 614 photos with an average size of 1.5 MB. 186. The search warrant requests authorization to use the biometric unlock features of a device, based on the following, which I know from my training, experience, and review of publicly available materials. 8 users may enable a biometric unlock function on some digital devices. To use this function, the user generally displays a physical feature, such as a fingerprint, face, or eye, and the device will automatically unlock if that physical feature matches one the user has stored on the device. To unlock a device enabled with a fingerprint unlock function, a user places one or more of the user's fingers on a device's fingerprint scanner for approximately 1 second. To unlock a device enabled with a facial, retina, or iris recognition function, the user holds the device in front of the user's face with the user's eyes open for approximately 1 second. B. In some circumstances, a biometric unlock function will not unlock a device even if enabled, such as when a device has been restarted or inactive, has not been unlocked for a certain period of time, or after a certain number of unsuccessful unlock attempts. Thus, the opportunity to use a biometric unlock function even on an enabled device may exist for only a short time. I do not know the passcodes of the device is likely to be found in the search. See. Thus, the warrants I am applying for regarding Henley's Mercedes, Henley's 62 ND Street premises, Henley's Arlington premises, Robinson's premises, and Martin's premises would permit law enforcement personnel to, with respect to any device that appears to have a biometric sensor and falls within the scope of the warrant, depress Henley, Robinson, or Martin thumb and slash your fingers on the device, and hold the device in front of Henley, Robinson, or Martin face with his or her eyes open to activate the facial, iris, and slash or retina recognition feature. D. Additionally, in my training and experience, the person who is in possession of a device or has the device among his or her belongings at the time the device is found is likely a user of the device. However, in my training and experience, that person may not be the only user of the device whose physical characteristics are among those that will unlock the device via biometric features. And it is also possible that the person in whose possession the device is found is not actually a user of that device at all. Furthermore, in my training and experience, I know that in some cases it may not be possible to know with certainty who is the user of a given device, such as if the device is found in a common area of a premises without any identifying information on the exterior of the device. Thus, if while executing the warrant to search developing options premises, law enforcement personnel encounter a digital device within the scope of the warrant that may be unlocked using one of the aforementioned biometric features, the warrant I'm applying for would permit law enforcement personnel to, with respect to every person who is located at developing options premises during the execution of the search who is reasonably believed by law enforcement to be a user of a biometric sensor-enabled device that falls within the scope of the warrant, depress the person's thumb and slash your fingers on the device, and hold the device in front of the face of the person with his or her eyes open to activate the facial, iris, and slash your retina recognition feature. 187. In addition to what has been described herein, the United States has attempted to obtain some of this data by warrant to search of fledged Apple accounts, the results of which are still pending, and by subpoena to developing options. On March 4, 2025, in response to that subpoena, a representative of developing options provided bank statements from various companies, including developing options, and what appear to be newly created spreadsheets showing accounting for developing options and celebrity stocks for various years dating back to 2017. The documents related only to financial information and did not include any documentation of work done by developing options as part of the Grid Foundation, payroll, IRS, or any of the other documents sought by the subpoena. The United States also interviewed and served a subpoena to a financial advisor / bookkeeper and return preparer who created financial statements and tax returns for Henley and his entities after Henley was aware he was the subject of a criminal investigation. The bookkeeper explained that prior to his work beginning around February 2024, Henley and his entities had no financial statements. The bookkeeper explained that they only had bank statements and that Henley told the bookkeeper that Henley was under investigation. The records provided in response to the subpoenas to developing options and the bookkeeper included a version of financial statements created in February 2025. Prior to meeting with the bookkeeper, the IRS CI interviewed and served a subpoena for records to a return preparer who was hired around March 2024 to amend and create Henley and his entities' tax returns. The amended and newly created tax returns were created using an earlier version of financial statements provided by the bookkeeper. After Henley was aware he was under criminal investigation, and again, after subpoenas were served and interviews were conducted of the return preparer and bookkeeper, there were changes to the classifications of transactions for Henley and his entities. For this reason, I believe, as do IRS CI agents with knowledge of the investigation, that the books and records provided by developing options and subpoena responses cannot be relied upon. Romans 16. Conclusion. 188. For all the reasons described above, there is probable cause to believe the following. A. Henley, Robinson, and Morton violated 18 U.S.C. Section 1962. B. Williams violated 18 U.S.C. Section 1951. C. Fledge violated 18 U.S.C. Section 2421. D. Blanton and Hines violated 18 U.S.C. Section 1344. 189. Further, there is probable cause to believe that the items listed in A. Attachment B1, which constitute evidence, proofs, and instrumentalities of violations of Henley's subject offenses will be found at in or on Henley's Mercedes, Henley's 62 MD Street premises, and Henley's Arlington premises, as described in attachments of 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. B. Attachment B2, which constitute evidence, fruits, and instrumentalities of violations of Robinson and Martin subject offenses will be found at or on Robinson's premises, and Martin's premises, as described in attachments A5, A6, A7, and A8. See attachment B3, which constitute evidence, fruits, and instrumentalities of violations of the developing options subject offenses will be found at developing options premises, as described in attachment A9, attested to by the applicant in accordance with the requirements of FAN R. Crim P. 4.1 by telephone on the 17th day of March 2025. United States Magistrate Judge.
Sneak dissing, we don't see the competition. I drop off a ransom note that your art is missing, nigga.
Pay us in full with the money, or she gon' get her fingers clipped off like Lil Sonny,
And bricc TV.
Free with the new Opera GX, the browser that puts you in control, with a brand new design that frees up even more pixels for personalization and an inventory of features to up your game at every level. Like GX Control to help rein in your resources with integrated limiters for RAM, CPU, and network. A sidebar for direct access to your favorite side quests, streams, and posts. And built-in
not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to remember as a private number.
Hey, baby.
Hello? Yeah.
Hey, I have IBM Hoodlin on the line. You want to say something to him?
Yeah. Make sure you keep putting your foot on everybody's neck. Your foot to the pedal. Drop the music and everything like that every single day. Like, everybody's gonna smash. This is the beginning, but this is where we go up and up and up and up and up. Like, it looks like a bad situation, but it's not. It's gonna be the best for all of us. We're gonna keep going. I'm gonna do content every single day. Like, just because I'm in here right now, I'll be out real fast. But sweetie, I need everybody to be yelling that. I need everybody to still be calling out the sweetheart. I need everybody that is still buying this IBM or shout out to everybody that you know what I'm saying? We just did
You got you, Ken. You already know we're gonna hold it down. Definitely.
Definitely. Like, every day. We're gonna still have content. We still gonna do things that nobody else is doing.
And what do you have to say to the haters?
Keep watching, because y'all gonna be upset even more when the outcome comes.
Okay. All right. Well, y'all heard it first from Loose Cannon, aka my husband, my baby daddy, my everything. He's gonna be out real soon, y'all. You know, keep locked in. Make sure y'all tune in to our YouTube channel, Sharice Mills, and also, you know, the IBM crew is gonna hold it down for the whole team. And my husband, you know, this is nothing. You know, he's got this, and we got the best lawyers on deck that's gonna do what they need to do to take care of this situation with Big Useless. All right, baby.
Like, until you get home, man.
You know I love you. I was screaming I love you the whole time in the video to let you know. You know, I gotta hold it down for you, so I'm gonna hold it down.
Yeah, I know you are, baby. I'll call right back.
Okay.
And we got you, Cannon. Don't even worry. You already know. Big I be and shit.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Hey, it's your boy Neptune Lagoon, and I'm back at y'all with another Say Less Moments reaction. Today, up on the scoreboard, Charleston.
The new Elite Driver's breakthrough AI 10X face helps deliver our best combination of distance and forgiveness ever, with drives up to 8 yards long.
Hey man, you already know. Talking on the whole tools real quick. It's all types of going on. Hey, look, let me get straight to it. First of all, the man on here, nigga going hard. That's first of all. Ain't no holding back. We ain't about to spare nobody. Everybody that's doing weird shit is on the who's who's, and it's like if it's gonna be problems or whatever it's gonna be. Jesus Christ. That's that. With this other shit, with from what I'm hearing and seeing, like police shit with like 600 is one of them. First of all, he one of them. First of all, that I'm on this because you don't say nobody. I don't think nobody should deal with him but the police. Jesus Christ, that nigga 600. Nobody shouldn't be trying to see what he talking about and none of that but the police. It ain't no street motherfucker should be dealing with 600. 600 just said somebody going to jail and somebody really just went to jail. That's not good. And everything I love, that ain't good. That's police. That's police shit. Period. Hey, let's go. Same thing with all this. Everybody that went on these things and burned that man's name in their mouth.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Anybody jumped on here and burned that nigga you and they shit, that's some police. That's police shit. Period. Man, y'all here acting like y'all here acting like y'all street niggas and all that. Everybody on here pretending like they on some street shit and thugging and all that. In the back of the scenes, working with the police and doing little mark shit and all types of shit. That ain't cool. That shit with that paperwork I was talking about and everything I love, just because I don't like the weird shit and this telling shit. All them 6 niggas that they was sending me with the paperwork, I swear to God, I'm throwing them on here. I don't care where you're from. And just because it's talking about niggas on that green shit too. It's crazy because you know bro saying the same shit we talking about. Oh, you talking about that. Oh yeah. Look. On everything I love. This some serious shit. Somebody which is on range, I ain't go hold back. What the next one doing? Munchie just went to this grid program, and from what I know, from what somebody telling me is, somebody that's telling me that Munchie just went to the grid program. Jesus Christ. Look, he just goes on dead hungry. Stop laughing. I don't even know what the fuck funny. Look, I'm saying Munchie just went to the grid program. Whatever he work at, whatever, that shit ain't cool to me. I'm not gang, I ain't doing no shit like that. Whoever doing it, whatever, nigga.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
For somebody to come out and say, hey, that thing and say, hey, man, hey, Braves, man, hey, AG Bizzle, hey, Munchie was in there and said, Munchie went in the weird program and said the who's this, the who's that. saying that in a grid program on dead homies. Don't know who's in no grid program. What the fuck is what is you on? Don't know who's in no grid program. You see what's going on in the streets right now? You see news getting locked up for all type of shit. You got a 600 doing police shit, talking about somebody about to get locked up. He get locked up. That ain't cool. That ain't gangster. That ain't none of that. Niggas should stop. Y'all should stop that image. Like it's a gang of people doing that. My bro just went to jail. My bro said the police hop out on him talking about the who's and your brother. Like y'all bringing the channel to some police bullshit for hating over some money shit. At the end of the day, that's what's really going on. That's what's really going on. And niggas on the streets ain't on tunes in the cell. That shit, that ain't fire. None of that on the hood. It's crazy because it took this meat quarter man right now. They like, damn, Big U just went to jail. I mean, they got Big U on the run or whatever going on with the situation on. I'm like, damn, this 600 just say X, Y, and Z. Like, yeah, that nigga police. I'm like, period. You can't tell me the police. I know who the police is. If somebody say that, if somebody saying that 2 weeks ago, a week ago, and then now this big ass shit that you said, you don't supposed to know stuff like that. I don't know when my bro going to jail. Yeah, and then for somebody else to come that's in the grid, tell the niggas, I know somebody that's in the grid for sure, like one of the leaders in the grid. He's non-affiliate. He's not bad people's because he's a non-affiliate. If you in a grid program and you a real affiliate, you acting like you doing this and that is not good people's shit. Not at all, sir. Like you know what I'm saying? Not at all, sir. So it's like, look, you getting people cracking at dead hungry. And then people were saying, who is the people getting people crack? Who is the who's who that's doing it? Dead hungry for somebody that go in a grid program the next day people's running and it's shit and then they talking about they kick the door down talking about this is that and then it involves whack and all that. Remember I'm like man, I get on here, I seen somebody sent me some shit, only the clip of whack saying about the church and shit. So I'm like, wait, he's saying that? I'm like, nigga, whoop the whole time. He ain't even worried about. He ain't even hating or none of that on the who's who. Niggas try to diverge the shit. They just sitting in motherfucking shit. I'm like, wait, what's this? Yeah, exactly. Like he ain't got nothing to do with none of that shit. But they send me the clip saying he's talking about some background or some shit. So I'm like, man, I ain't fucking with him. But the whole time he pushing nigga shit more than nigga. But the whole time it's the nigga that I'm taking up for going to shit. I say after he get on here and say something about my son and the who's who, I still get on here and say, hey, yeah, he ain't say nothing bad about me, so I can't say nothing bad about him. Even though he said the who's who's crossed the line, I said, fuck it, I'm trying to dead the shit, everything going on. But the next couple of days later, I hear they talk about he in the grid program. I don't know, and then it's like to bring the person up that's saying it. It's gonna be fucked up because the person is not affiliated. He told me about the shit in Palmville like years ago when the real shit was going on in Palmville with what's going on. So I know he tied in with some police activities. People, this is non-affiliated people. He fucking he people family and shit. But remember, he can't be acting like he 109th Street and then doing stuff like that. If you say it, if you even mention the who's who in the grid program, you out of line. I don't want you in the hand.
Hi, we're Visible. If you're looking for one-line wireless plans without hidden fees and surprise charges for just $25 a month, Visible is for you.
And then Munchie B, like this nigga, Munchie B Munchie B blew this shit up.
What's the boy name? Cowboy. He got cracking and came back.
super chat. Osito got the attention he craved and don't know facts.
The amount of self-snitching, control extortion, and witness cooperation going on.
You know what I'm saying? And I got a couple, it's been a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot. Everybody know the latest and the greatest. People getting locked up. What's the boy name? Cowboy. He got cracking and came back. He got cracking. He seen Loose Cannon and did his thing. You know what I'm saying? And but first I want to shout out S. Wiggins. He been doing this thing. He even got some interviews that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Shout out S. Wiggins. He interviewed my boy, you know what I'm saying? He from the city, Spud. Shout out Spud the Blood. You know what I'm saying? He interviewed Big Time from 89 Family. He was on death row. Did late 30s, like 30 some years, like 37 years. You know what I'm saying? Now he back home. You know what I'm saying? He interviewed Big Sight from the east side, also from Swan. Like, you know what I'm saying? S. Wiggins been doing this thing, but I ran across some, you know what I'm saying? I had to run this, and we about to get into it. Go ahead.
Tiny piece of history that I know my Inglewood Damus especially gonna appreciate, because it's deeper than what I'm about to show you. And you gonna see what I'm talking about in a second too, because it's just so real. Everything happens for a reason, man. Shouts out to my boy Jay Rose from Inglewood. Much love, homie. I'm gonna have to knock it down and pay you back all the favors I owe you. Check this video out. I got a rare video, the one and only Peanut, Weirdo Gangster Blood. Just graduated, class 2004. It's short. We're going to check it out. Wicked.
We knew what blood right there. Say something for the people. Say something for the people. I'm passion. For the whole flow. That's all. Whole flow. That's right. Graduating. That's right, baby. We knew what blood right there. Say something for the people. Say something for the people. I'm passion. For the whole flow. That's all. Whole flow. That's right. Graduating. That's right.
Hey, okay. Now, that's my boy Peanut, man. He rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? He from Weirdo Gangster Bloods in Inglewood. And I'm glad out of all the footage you could have dug up, you dug up that, right? Because it's positive. As you can see, my boy Peanut, they said, say something for the camera. He said, 04. So he was graduating. And it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Put a smile on my face when I came across this, right? Shout out Wiggins. Cause I think I was in the 9th grade at Morningside. And I don't know where Peanut came from. Maybe he came from a school where he had to catch up on credits or something, because he wasn't, I don't know, but he ended up popping up at Morningside, you know what I'm saying? And, when it's in between classes or even lunch or whatever, the bell ring, we still talking and everybody, you know what I'm saying, slow shaking hands and slow dragging to get to class. But my boy Peanut, he'd have his backpack on and he'd be marching lights. You know what I'm saying? Like he on a mission, getting to class, you know what I'm saying? Unlike the rest of us, we couldn't care less if we was late or not, you know what I'm saying? And if you know Morningside High School, that's a big campus. So from C building to get from C building all the way to J building, that's up in the hills, it's a mission, you know what I'm saying? And he was evidently, wherever he came from, caught up on his credits. He was serious about graduating and getting that completed. And it showed there, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, class of 04, you know what I mean? Because I even made a joke about that before. I'm like, man, you be acting like you about to go press somebody. You be, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? And that showed that you ain't no follower. You ain't doing what everybody else doing, lagging and all that little extra ish, you know what I'm saying? And I just thought I'd touch on that before I get to the less important things, you know what I'm saying? Because following this, I'm about to, I ain't gonna say react. I'm gonna respond or address a few things, you know what I'm saying? Because in a minute, my content about to change. I ain't got time for this. You know what I mean? Shit, I'm about to be a granddad soon, bro. My daughter pregnant. You know what I'm saying? I got kids. My daughter about to have a kid. I ain't got time to be playing with you fools. You know what I'm saying? But I'm about to address a few things. So, long live my boy Peanut, man. I'm glad that's the particular clip he ended up coming across. You know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna keep you in mind, never forget about you. You're a real homie, bro. Weirdo Gangster Bloods. But first, AOF Nino. AOF Nino. He been going viral lately, you know what I'm saying? You know, he went up to Stockton. I guess he going back and forth with the EBK dudes or whatever. None of my business. But I ran across something on Instagram, and I seen it on No Jumper, and then there's been a lot of clips made out of it, people reacting or whatever. So let's get into it. Go ahead.
Like another thing with Munchie, you talking about what I got going on in my hood, boys. Mind your business, bitch. You can't even see. You got a lot of things to worry about, bitch. Like, you know, you got niggas put peanut butter between your ass in the county. Like, this really like facts, like 3,700, like facts. Like, you had peanut butter, Incredible, pizza, sandwich in your ass. I don't beef with nobody from Inglewood. Okay?
Just Munchie.
I don't even know Munchie like that. I know him from jail. I know he can't see. And I know he not in my politics. He not from my hood. So he talking about 48 hours. That nigga got 48 hours to get his eyes back. That's like another thing with Munchie.
All right.
You talking?
All right. This is how we go start this off. All right. AOF Nino. I first became aware of AOF Nino. I was chilling and I was checking out this hood vlog, you know what I mean? And I noticed in the hood vlog, he was with some East Coast Crips. And he was the only blood, you know what I'm saying? He said his name and where he's from, whatever. But the issue ain't that he was with the East Coasters, with the East Seas. These East Coast dudes, they I guess they from the stink team, you know what I'm saying? So, you know me, I don't like nothing stink team, bro. Artists, affiliates, supporters, family. I don't like nothing around them or nothing around them. That's just me. So I you know, on YouTube, I came across something else. The bounty hunter's like, you got 48 hours. I'm honest, the report, 48 hours. I believe it was like Flocka from Hunters and Lil Will. So I laughed like, oh, that's funny, right? So I took it upon myself, you know what I'm saying? When I was recording some content, I played the clip and I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's funny. I was kind of on this dude, but then look, I don't need to be. His homies on him. He got 48 hours, right? So quite naturally, he didn't like what I said. So he went on No Jumper and that was his response. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, me not being from Bonnie Hunters, maybe I could have been like, that's between the Hunters and all that, whatever. But, you know, I didn't care and I still don't care. You know what I mean? So, I never responded to it, right? Because I heard what he said. I see where he was coming from. Oh, that's how you feel? For sure. All right, bet. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a blood and I feel it's going to be easy to pop out and come across him. You know what I mean? Like we bloods. We it ain't like he whack 100 and whack be going back to Vegas or blaming diapers while he not around. Like I could run into this AOF Nino, so no need to respond to him. So I never did. Cause he said what he said, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But you heard Adam say, he said, I don't have no problem with Inglewood. He said, just much. He said, no, it ain't like much. I know I'm from jail. You don't know me from jail, bro. I never been in jail. I never been in jail with you, Nino, ever in life. Ever. 3,700. Never been housed in module 3,700 in my life. Never in life. Peanut butter. That's a rumor. You know what I'm saying? It's 2025. We still haven't seen nobody, heard nobody say, I seen no shit like that with the naked eye ever. It's just rumors. You know what I'm saying? It's just rumors, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let you get your shine on with this. It's all Gucci. But what I do know, I was getting calls as of recently. You know what I'm saying? I guess you mutual with some people I know, family, you know what I'm saying, or related and all that, and trying to get in contact with me. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm like, Nah, he said what he said. You know, we gonna leave that where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Nah, he already didn't disrespect it. You know what I'm saying? He lying. Talking about he know me from jail. No, you don't. Because for one, you was too young to been in the county jail with me, bro. I think you might be in your early 20s, bro. I'm 35, bro. In 2011, you wasn't hitting no county jails, bro. I mean, I could be wrong. You might be my age. I don't know. You just probably appear younger, but listen, bro, you was never in jail with Munchie, bro, ever. But what I do know, yeah, you've been trying to reach out, okay, and let bygones be bygones. You know, hit me with a follow on Instagram. I didn't follow back. You even DM'd me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't respond. You know what I'm saying? So I'm guessing you want to let bygones be bygones. That's what I'm guessing. But see, what I don't like, the public disrespect that then people they squash shit behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? So I had to make this public. You know what I'm saying? I had to make this public. You know what I'm saying? You have been reaching out. You know what I mean? And you never was in jail with me. Okay. And those are rumors. Okay, because since juvenile hall, camp, county jail, prison, everywhere I go, my presence be felt, you know what I mean? And I do my thing. And my reputation speak for itself. So, you know what I mean? And that's that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you claim bounty hunters, those are projects. Most people from over there is homegrown. You know what I'm saying? They probably didn't even get put on because they born and raised. But from what I know, you from Reno Valley, you went to Mobile High, and you know what I'm saying? And shit, people telling me you banged some blood out there, panning bloods. I never heard of that, but shout out them or something. I don't know, bro. But if you see this and you still trying to reach out, I may respond, no. But you know, I don't do nothing stink team, nothing. You know what I mean? And that's that. You know what I'm saying? It's belt to ass. Anytime the homies run across anything affiliated, you know what I'm saying? You can't even come to the hood playing their music. Ask any DJ in LA or any club that if they try to play, it get played for 12 or 15 seconds, and yeah, that's a mistake. You know what I'm saying? But you know, shout out AOF Nino. You know what I'm saying? Support black businesses. Run it up with his music. And go follow his Instagram. I think his Instagram's AOF Nino. You know what I'm saying? You know, ain't no hater. What I said, you know what I mean? Like I said, man,
Dude couldn't take it. He couldn't take it. You know, it's just, I mean, he's just like a girl, bro. Like, you know, when he was turning himself in, he's like a female. Like, you mad at what you're caught up in. You know what I'm saying? And you blaming everybody else. It's like a female. You throwing other people's name out there. You threw my name out there. Now look at you. You couldn't take it. They said about the friction of the thing that he was too big when he tried to do himself. It jumped. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, man. Rest in peace, Big U, man. That's crazy. He's done. You'll never see him on the street again. It's over. You know, I guess, I don't know, like I say, but this decision that he made, bro. You know what I'm saying? So.
Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Neptune the Goon, and I'm back at y'all with Say Less Moments TV. Back at y'all with another one that ain't like the other one. Now, today we speaking on the dude that was there when Cowboy took off on Loose Cannon. Yes, this is a fact. He's going to explain the story and what happened and what transpired, and we're going to listen up to him, and we're going to give a reaction. You know how we do. We play the script, and we get back to it at the end. Let's get it.
So as we walking back towards, the rear of where the trailer was, where my car was, Cowboy see Loose Cannon and just walk up and tee off. He try to get off on bruh. So that Loose Cannon stand his ground, they going back and forth. But mind you, bruh, I'm gonna slide off. So then I'm looking to the right, another car pull up. So the person who get out the car is Loose Cannon. So while Cowboy chaining up my car, I see Loose Cannon. I'm like, hold on, bro, what's up with you, Loose Cannon? I'm G Battles. And I'm introducing myself because I've been watching bro on YouTube. I know he's been hella funny and doing his shit. So I was giving him his proper. So as we walking back towards, the rear of where the trailer was, where my car was, Cowboy see loose cannon and just walk up and tee off. You feel me? He try to get off on bruh. So then loose cannon stand his ground. They going back and forth. But mind you, bruh, I'm gonna slide off. So then I'm looking to another car.
Pretty much, this is a short, and this is short for me too. So pretty much, he's saying what is true to be true. What Cowboy said. Cowboy said, dude, and he pulled up. He hit dude back tire with his trailer. His trailer can tow other cars. Cowboy, he noticed Cowboy when he get out the car. He like, hey, you Cowboy. So he on his fan tip. So then they work out a deal to where, he was trying to call roadside assistance, but it was too far and too long for him to wait while he in the car with his daughter. So Cowboy tell him he'll take him, put him on the back of his thing, and take him to where he need to go and pay the expenses for the tire and everything he need. So as he's lifting